Dreaming of a 6-night getaway to paradise? Escape to the islands of Tahiti and Moorea with Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. This all-inclusive vacation package is designed to take you to a tropical haven, starting with non-stop flights from Los Angeles or Seattle to Tahiti. From the vibrant cabins to the warmth of our Polynesian crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. Your package includes luxurious hotel stays, ensuring that your experience is as comfortable as it is enchanting. Start each day with a delicious Polynesian breakfast, enjoy exciting excursions that showcase the beauty and culture of the islands, and take advantage of convenient transfers that make your trip seamless from start to finish. All of this begins at just $26.95 per person. Whether you're looking to explore crystal clear waters, unwind on pristine beaches, or immerse yourself in rich Polynesian culture, Tahiti and Moorea offer endless possibilities for both adventure and relaxation. Call 1-877-468-2448 now to book your Tahiti and Moorea escape.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours, and Happy New Year and all that. By the way, we're trying to figure out the exact cutoff date for saying Happy New Year. Is it the end of January? Is it mid-January? If I've not seen you since, say, Christmas and I bump into you in February, can I say Happy New Year, or do we just assume that it's...
Say, how's the New Year going?
How's the New Year going? Thank you, Miles.
Yeah. Hope you had a good holiday season.
Yeah, hope you had a good holiday. All right, but what's the day we cut off Happy New Year? I'm going to keep saying it up until then. We come up with the date, I'm done. But in the meantime, Happy New Year. Now, if you're like me, you've pictured yourself being a heroic badass, right? You know, you successfully fight off 3 men that are armed with nunchucks and machetes. Or maybe you're face-to-face with a pack of wolves, and somehow you manage to take them out with a rock and a broken bottle, all in an effort to save Halle Berry, who, it so happens, really wants to have sex with you. Now, that said, if either scenario presented itself in the real world, I would politely decline the opportunity. But that's me. A man in New Zealand, however, he's not me, and that's why he jumped off of a boat in an effort to, and I quote, body slam an orca. Just let that sink in for a second. Now, believe it or not, he survived. But he did not do it to impress Halle Berry or anything like that. He did it because it's something he wanted to do, and the opportunity presented itself. Meanwhile, in Uzbek, a zookeeper, he did want to impress his girlfriend. She wasn't with him, but he works the night shift at a private zoo. So he started filming himself on his phone, going into the lion enclosure to pet 3 full-grown lions. And I did watch the video, up until it cuts off when he starts screaming and the lion attacks him. Oh, and the lions, they escaped because he couldn't relock the cage after they ate him. Good times. Now, these are just some of the stories we've come across. Stories left us with many questions we'd like to ask you in the form of our random question. And as a refresher, this is how it works. You call us, we'll ask you a question that completes random. And after you share your story, we'll share with you the news story that inspired said question.
To be a part of the big show, the Random Question, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Well, Jones, away we go. Welcome to Season 19, Episode number 4,236. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Exciting return of Your Guess Is As Good As Mine. The categories today, we have America's favorite sandwiches. You guys like a good sandwich?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone likes a good sandwich, right?
Not everyone. I know my son has one friend. My wife informed me of this while we were off, that he doesn't eat sandwiches. Like, I mean, you don't eat sandwiches. Not allergic to bread, nothing like that, but his food must be hot.
So he'll eat a
That's the whole
hamburger.
thing.
What about
He would
grilled
eat a hamburger?
cheese?
Maybe. But if you got him out, or like a roast beef sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like just a normal sandwich you whip up at home because you got bread and stuff,
Okay.
kid won't eat it. He's
I'll
a
be
freak.
damned. All right.
That is kind of odd.
It's really weird.
Especially
man.
for a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a kid doesn't like chicken nuggets or pizza.
That is weird.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around.
I grew up on them. I mean, that was like basically my bread and butter, so to speak. But
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
But like they were easy. We got bread, we got some crap, put that crap on the bread, you got a sandwich.
I mean,
There's
I
some-
didn't eat peanut butter and jelly as an adult for years. Because, I mean, that's what I ate every day for lunch. Now I love it again, but you just get sick of it because you eat it every day.
Sure.
your favorite sandwich on the list, as far as the one that maybe you had more PB&Js growing up, but as an adult, I'm fairly certain in the time that I've known you, you've eaten more of these sandwiches than any person I
Oh,
know.
turkey sandwich?
Probably on the list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Especially
are a
if you
turkey
wrap it
sandwich.
up with some bacon and avocado.
Ah, delicious. Then we have, on the flip side, we have the 10 most ratty cities in the United States. Orkin does this every year. They say, look, man, just based on the calls we get in the cities that we're in, which is all of them,
Right.
which ones have the most trips for us trying to take care of rats?
Some cities, I don't even know why you bother to call Oregon.
Just think of it this way. If it's an older city with older buildings,
They got rats.
with a little bit of history to it, you're going to know for a fact that it's going to be a ratty city. Seattle does not fall under that category.
No.
I mean, we're a relatively new city considering, the history of most East Coast cities and older cities with older buildings.
I mean, when they started digging up for the tunnel, they do new construction. Like, you'll see the rats pour out,
Yeah.
but they don't tend to hang out and smoke cigarettes with you like they do in New York.
No, that's fact. Okay, what else we have for you today? We have a big announcement. We're starting a brand new year, and believe it or not, we have been in this town for 20 years.
As of
20
this
years.
year, yeah.
20 years. We have been in Seattle for 20 years doing this fine radio program, or not so fine radio program, depending on how you look at it. We do have a very important announcement coming
All of
up
us
today.
have been here for 20 years.
Yes.
I get that all the time.
What's that?
Well, when'd you show up? I was like, I've been here the whole time. It happened at our local.
Where the hell do you think it was?
Yeah, I'm just like, that's what I'm like, I'm going to reiterate this over the next, we talk about what Miles
For the
is about
year.
to announce.
That's
Yeah,
right.
just like,
You're the guy that we're
been
paying.
here the whole time.
People keep sitting on your lap and, I didn't see you there, man. I thought it was just
Yeah.
chat.
Just like, come on.
You think that we don't plan stuff out, but we actually do. We take the time to
We just
plan
don't do it
something.
well.
Oh, we've got some we've got some really cool stuff happening this year, and the first being the announcement coming up today at 4:30. And yes, of course, it's going to involve a party down the road.
Yep.
And all the things that we do. So just know that that's coming up today at 4:30. And today is the day that we do our random question. 206-803-ROCK.
Random.
Miles, just so you know,
Yes,
a lot of people glad that you made it out of Africa, like the movie says.
I did.
Let's see. Damn it. Miles did not get eaten by a lion. I don't know how you feel
I did
about
not.
that one.
No, I
Someone else, let's see. Welcome back, fellas. Glad Miles made it back safe. That from Suzanne at the 884.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Someone else says Miles didn't get eaten and survived. He better be saying Happy New Year until the 4th of July. And then someone else says, damn, I got to say this AI replacement for Miles sounds pretty spot on. May he rest in peace with sunshine.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will give you some stories when they are appropriate about my trip.
Sure. How many countries did you go to?
I went to. I was in three. I was
Three
in,
different countries.
I was in South Africa. I was in Zimbabwe, and I was in Zambia on the border of Zambia.
Does Africa have the most countries that start with the letter Z?
I believe so.
They've got to, right?
I think there's only two.
Zambia, Zimbabwe, Zaire. Or is that not a country anymore?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's one of those always kind of up in the air.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the human experience, the animal experience was all, we'll just say, an experience. I can tell you guys one story, though, if you want to hear a good story.
All right. Tell us what you got.
So, do the safari.
Did you get married?
No. Oh, God. With that woman from Zimbabwe? No.
I just think it'd be awesome.
Yeah. That'd have been weird. So where we were Kruger National Park is incredibly large. It is all an animal sanctuary. In other words, you cannot hunt. You cannot do any of that
Legally.
in that area. Yeah, correct. And there are officers that are patrolling those areas in the midst of all those animals constantly. Now, they are well armed, but they are looking for poachers. If you are caught
Can
poaching...
they shoot an animal if they feel that they are in danger, right? So I am the poacher police.
I don't know.
And the idea is that we don't shoot and kill animals, but this lion looks awfully hungry, and apparently I look tasty. Can they fire at it?
I would assume so if their life is in danger.
Okay. All right.
Which is probably most of the time.
I was saying you're standing in the middle of an animal preserve.
But either way, this park is huge, and there are private reserves on the outskirts to the point where, at one point, when we were leaving the area where the safari was, and we did that for 3 days, we had to drive to the airport. And the airport, Kruger International Airport, is about 3 hours away. All right, so we get this guy, we get a driver. First of all, we couldn't leave the hotel room because there was an elephant blocking the entrance to the hotel. The guy in the van can't pick us up. We can't get out the front door.
Does he wait there, or does he drive off?
Oh,
and
yeah,
come back?
he's waiting for the whole pride of elephants to walk by.
Oh, wow.
Does he honk at him?
No, you
Would
really
you?
don't. You don't really try to disturb them too much.
Okay.
You kind of leave them alone. But we're all just sitting there with our bags like, oh, God, we got a 3-hour drive, and it's going to be a long one. So we get in the car. Guy's name is, he says, I'm Bruce. And
Bruce.
Bruce.
That is a very African name.
Yeah.
Next time I meet someone named Bruce, trying to be like, you from Africa? Yeah, I knew it.
Of course, we got 3 hours in the car. So we're going to have a lot of conversations. Bruce is also a safari guide. He works for tourism companies down there, picking up shuttling people. He also does the walking tours. He does the driving tours. Basically, he is a one-man tourist machine for the most part. So, just out of curiosity, I'm like, hey, man, what are tourists like from around the world? You know, what are some of the unique
That's fair.
idiosyncrasies of people from different places? And he said, well, typical stuff, just social norms and where people are from. So, when the Chinese come, he's like, they don't really have a personal space kind of cultural wall. In other words, they might get in the back of his truck while he's trying to unload baggage, and they're crawling over top of this guy. Like, there's personal space does not exist.
They got to get in.
They're in, but they're close to everything.
Yeah.
He's like, also, there's a language barrier in some of these instances. And I was like, well, okay. Well, what about people from the United States? And he said, well, look, he said, you have some people that come down here that this is, a once-in-a-lifetime thing. People who have reached, retirement age. They are very into nature. They are into the National Geographic stuff. They know a lot. Sure. He said, but, you guys have a very big country. He said, so it's much different sometimes when you talk to people. Are they from the East Coast? Are they from the West Coast? Are they from the South? And he starts basically saying what we all know, but he knows just from doing this job.
Sure.
All right? So he's like, I'll give you an example. He's like, I've got all kinds of things. He goes, so one of the things he does is when he picks up people from the airport, he's got a sign with their last name.
All right.
So he picked up a party of 6, 3 couples from New Jersey.
Okay.
All right. So as soon as they see the sign, he's like, they're stocky, they're kind of macho looking when they walk up. They take the sign from the guy, from Bruce, and they start rubbing the top of his head and taking selfies with their name placard, so to speak. All right.
Sounds very Jersey.
This is the beginning of it. He said, and then the 3 women, they run up to him and they all hug him in the same time. And he's like, but the screeches and how high their voices were, he's like, it was ear piercing. So he's like, I've learned a lot of tricks along the way about kind of how you can handle people in just different situations. He's like, keep in mind, I've been doing this job for 25 years. He's like, I've got a college degree. I speak 7 languages. He's like, yeah. He goes, but in this instance, I knew I had to take these 6 people on a 7 to 6 hour car ride, depending on traffic. And depending on a lot of the times, we had to leave a little early because the animals physically will block the road.
Sure.
You're in Kruger National Park. If a pride of lions wants to fall asleep on the road, you kind of just got to wait for them. You kind of wait. You can try to drive around them, but you need to wait for them. You cannot roll the windows down because the baboons will jump in the car.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so there's all this. All right. I'm not kidding, all right? So, and they'll steal your stuff. And then they won't give it back until you give them food. They know the drill, all right? They can also open your car door if you don't have it locked. So,
Jesus, man.
right. So he's like, so now I know I'm going to get in this car for 6 or 7 hours with these people that I do not want to talk to. And he's like, I've already just like, I've had enough, and we haven't even made it out of the airport yet. So I said, well, what do? Just make small talk? He goes, oh, no. He goes, they will say something to me like, hey, what is the weather like? Where we're going. Ooh, me, Bruce. Kabuka Lounge. Beautiful place. 6-7 hour drive. I get you there.
Sure.
All right, well, is there any way that we can maybe, I don't know, stop and get some fast food or get some bite to eat? Or, if we need to use the bathroom, is there a place we can stop? Me, Bruce, Kabuka Lounge. Beautiful place. 6-7 hour drive. I will get you there. And he repeats this 3 or 4 times, and they're back going, oh, man, this guy doesn't speak English, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, but here's the hard part. He's like, I can hear their conversations, and I know how ridiculous they are, and I have to keep a straight face, like I don't understand what they're saying, and I'm not going to laugh out loud.
Yeah.
So he said, what I do is I wait for them to say something funny, and then I've got it all held inside. Kind of like in a Coming to America way. They're laughing, and Tina goes, ah, ha, 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 ah, ha, 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 and acts like he's laughing.
He's joining with their laughter.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, so this is for 6-7 hours. He's like, yeah, but they keep trying. Me, Bruce, Kambuka Lounge, beautiful. 6-7 hours. I will get you there. And I'm just like, this guy's freaking brilliant.
That's the move, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, so he's got all these different tricks of the trade. But the people were entertaining as hell. So that was just one aspect of the trip that I thought was pretty unique. Overall, though, he did have very positive things to say about American tourists, but like anywhere else, you're going to get what you're going to get from different countries.
What are you gonna do?
Language barriers, all kinds of different things. But that was one of the more interesting drives. Oh, so we're driving through this town.
What did he say about the Brits?
You know what? Nothing. He really didn't say anything about, more like, I don't know, Spanish people that he has a language barrier problem with. He didn't speak Spanish.
All right.
So just trying to understand people, I think, was more of a thing than anything else. But, I mean, it was wild. Like, we were driving through this one town in South Africa, and there's a clear red light.
Yeah.
I mean, and and I'm like, he's like, we cannot stop here.
Oh, one of those, like, what, that part of town kind of thing?
And I'm like, really? He's like, oh, no. He's like, I will blow 3 more stoplights. Don't be afraid. I was like, okay, man. That's cool. And much like we were observing, all the animals in the park and all the things, anytime we were driving by anywhere, it was like we have now become the attraction at the zoo.
You mean as far as the other animals go, or people?
People
just staring in the car, like, look at all those white people.
What are the white people doing here? And I mean, and they know damn well we're tourists. I mean, obviously that's the case.
That would be a giveaway.
But at the same point, you're just like, this is very different. And there is also, culturally, in South Africa, staring is completely appropriate at all times, at anyone you want to stare at, for as long as you want to stare. You can make eye contact with them. They will not stop staring at you.
How long did it take you to figure this out?
I had a guy, like, eyeballing me down for, like, 30 minutes. It was to the point where I was like, is this guy going to kick my ass? And I asked Bruce about this. And he's like, oh, no, we just stare at people.
Right.
He's like, we just stare at you. He's like, we're going to stare at anybody. He's like, you could have your uncle over. You just stare at him for 45 minutes. It's like, you know the man all your life. I'm like,
that's kind of creepy.
I'm like, well, yeah, exactly. Do you talk to each other? It's like, nah. Just stare at each other. It's like, what in the hell is going on, man? Because I really thought I was going to get my ass kicked a couple times. I'm like, what is happening in this restaurant? I'm going to die.
That's weird, man.
It was. So,
although they might think it's weird that, we'll break eye contact.
Sure. Here's another one, Ted. So all of the alcohol and all the food prices are basically the same no matter where you go.
All right.
You could be in the middle of Cape Town, in the middle of Johannesburg. You could be out in the middle of nowhere. The beer is $2. It doesn't matter if you get a Guinness. They have a beer called Castle Light, ironically enough. So I'm in a bar, and the guy's got Jameson. And I took the last of the Jameson out of the bottle. And he said, man, we're not going to get a delivery for a couple of days. He's like, is there anything else up here you want? I was like, well, I'll take Jack Daniels, And he's like, oh, yeah, I got plenty of Jack Daniels. So he's like, but just got to let you know, man, the Jameson's $3. The Jack Daniels is $3.50. And I said to him, do you want to know how much a shot of Jack Daniels cost in the country that it is made in. Because I'm telling you right now, this is less than half price.
This is the deal.
This is
Absolute deal.
It's like a quarter of the price.
Right. And he could not believe it. He was like, well, but you make it there.
Yeah.
And I said, yes. He's like, but you ship it here. And I was like, that is correct, sir. And he goes, this is the expensive one. You know, the Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
It really was. It's just the preferred whiskey.
Sure.
Of
Internationally,
Irish,
very well known.
Canadian, whatever. That's number one. He's like, that's why it's so expensive.
For $3.50 a shot. You know how drunk I would be there.
I'm going to bite that bullet. You know?
I'll do that.
Yeah. Give me a double. You want a double?
My God, man.
This guy must be loaded.
I'm rolling. Random question coming up 206.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
Look, we're all human. We push-pull doors, we blow on ice cream to cool it down, and sometimes we forget to check our blind spots. That's why the 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid offers class-leading advanced safety features. Like an available blind spot view monitor, which shows you a live video feed of your blind spots. Because the Tucson Hybrid is made for humans who are just that, human. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for details.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
803 Rock.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Random question 206-803 Rock.
Hello, Cheyenne. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. Cheyenne, did you make it home okay?
I will say this. You guys were awesome while I was out there. Thank you for everything, and it made the hellish trip home worth it. It's normally a long trip home. I ended up getting delayed at SeaTac till like 1 a.m. Had to stay there all night and then fly home by like 10 o'clock the next morning through Minneapolis.
So what do you do when you're at SeaTac? 'Cause even though they call themselves an international airport, they still close everything by like 9. You know, like,
yeah, they really do. And I know. Food is as airport food is expensive as hell, as everybody knows. Yeah. And finally, I just bit the bullet and stopped at Lulu's bar and whatever that thing is called in the B concourse, and had like a prime rib sandwich and a tall space dust, like a 20-ounce one or something like that.
How much did that cost you?
That was probably about $30.
Jeez.
I was going to say, I sat beside a guy, not the last time I flew, but the time before. And he was from Alaska, and he was like, "That's a $20 cheesesteak, huh?" And I was like, "It sure is, buddy."
That's the other issue, is that sometimes airport food And I get it. Like, some of those restaurants, there's only so much they have at their device, like how they're going to cook it.
Sure.
But you're right. It does suck to pay that much for a cheesesteak. Like, you clearly just microwave it.
Well, it's the thing. And, like, I get it. It's an airport. You can only get what you get. And to your point, Ted, they don't have everything that most restaurants have. But with that, you know it's going to be the worst food you eat on any trip. It's probably at the airport, but you also know it's the most expensive. So, like, when the kids piss and moan that they're hungry, I'm like, go to Hudson News and buy some combos. Like, I'm not sitting down at this place and buy you a sandwich that you're going to half eat because it cost me $20.
Right, I did it last week. Right, I was at SeaTac early in the morning. I got bacon, eggs, and a cup of fruit. And it was like $20.
Yeah. That's why sometimes it's just better to go to McDonald's.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, it's still more expensive than most McDonald's.
But it's cheaper, right.
You're going to get more food for your buck. But it was good seeing you, man, at Live Night. Let's see here. What do we got? How about this one, Cheyenne? Who was your arch enemy growing up? Or just the kid growing up that either you could not stand, who picked fights with people? Just who was the person, that caused the most problem for you personally?
Well, there was this kid named Josh that no matter what I did, and the listeners might know what I'm talking about. So there's an episode of Family Guy where the guy Joe in a wheelchair, Peter gets tired of him because he's the lousy disabled guy that everybody seems to love. So this kid hated me for that reason when I was growing up, in elementary school, and would just make my life miserable simply because of that.
Wait, he hated you because you're disabled?
Basically, and everybody thought I was inspirational, which, by the way, I don't ask for. People just tend to do that, and that just pissed him off because he was unhappy, I guess.
Were you inspirational because of all the several beatings you took from Josh, or just because you went about your business?
Well, apparently, because I went about my business, which is also a weird moment for me when people praise me for that. So
it almost seems kind of stupid.
Right.
Because you realize how inferior people think you are. Rudy. Oh, my goodness, look what he did. Well, yeah, man, he's eating a meal. What the hell is it?
Right. Ooh, we can use a knife and a fork.
How long did you... Well, okay, to be fair, we saw that armless dude who had a fork and knife with his feet.
Yep, you can do it.
And frankly, that was gross, but impressive. And how many years did you have to deal with this Josh guy?
Probably, I would say 4 or 5 years, the usual grammar school run, if you will,
Well, I think we had it easy back then. I do. And because somebody pointed out, they said, look, pre-internet, right, if you had the bully in the school, it was basically your school assigned bully. And you're going to deal with them K through 12, but it was just him. Nothing got said about you on social media, and millions of people, it's like you just dealt with it. Yes, he's going to punch you in the face. Yes, he's going to give you a wedgie. Yes, he's going to chase you home, not just you, a couple of things. But you knew who it was. It wasn't a stranger. It was just this guy. Because
man, in my experience, too, they never get theirs. So the D-bags I knew growing up that were in my class, I go back to the class reunion. Yeah, Rod, what are you up to these days? I'm an anesthesiologist in San Francisco.
Right.
Oh, okay. Another guy. I own 3 companies.
But they were the douchebags growing up,
exactly.
Right?
You never got yours, did you? You just kept climbing upward. It's like you bastards. You just hope something well, I had a bad battle with disease for 10 years.
That's what you're hoping for.
Yeah, exactly. You deserve that, man. You deserve that.
Remember when you gave me that noogie in 4th grade? Yeah.
No, I married Miss USA, and we have 6 kids.
Then I got divorced, and I married Miss Universe.
Right. Live in Miami in a penthouse.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And I can only think of one guy. I don't know that I call him a bully, but he was just kind of a D-bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was like a giant dude, but same thing. He's fine.
Yeah.
Took over his dad's business. He never missed a beat.
I don't know why I wish sometimes that, people would get theirs.
Because your memory of them is not
terrible.
good.
I know it's
been 40 years, but I don't know you in the last 40 years. Yeah. When I think of you, I want to beat your ass. I just couldn't.
And by the way, these 2 or 3 guys that I knew that were like that, they acted like we were best friends growing up. When I saw them again, hey, man, how you been, man? Oh, man, it was so great growing up. I was like, no, it wasn't. You suck.
Yeah.
They seem to forget about that, too. You're like,
Of course they do.
That's not how that went down, brother.
Yeah, I had that a few times, when I was in Baltimore. 20 years have passed since high school. Dude, what's going on, man? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why is this guy dapping me? I'm like, we have very different memories of each other. You know what I mean? This.
That happened to me at a wedding once.
All right.
Same thing. I just didn't like this dude. He was always giving me crap, blah, blah, blah. But, we had mutual friends.
Yeah.
But same thing. I see him at this wedding. It's just Like, we had been best friends.
Nothing ever happened.
Right. Oh, man, I miss you. And I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, I mean, it was fine. We had a good time. We went to a club.
The guy that beat me up
strange.
The guy that beat me up every day, Heiser. So, again, the same exact thing. He's got like 2 of the biggest body shops in the area.
All right.
So he's been killing it as far as, auto collisions, people hitting deer. He's fine, right, money-wise. And he's very good at what he does. But, he started talking about things. And I was like, Tim, what I really appreciated about you the most, man, was that you gave me a lot of rides home in the 8th grade when you could drive and no one else could. Because he was 2 years older, 3 years older.
Oh, yeah.
He'd failed so many times that he had a driver's license, and he could, drive us home from middle school, essentially.
We had a kid named Carl Welty. This kid, he got on everyone. He would get on me as well. And I was retaliated a little bit, which made him angry. And he stalked me all one summer just to punch me in the stomach at an amusement park for some other things that we had done to each other. And, man, I did not know he was there. I just remember I felt a hand on my bicep. He punched me in the gut, knocked the wind out of me, and it just sucks. Because, when you get the wind knocked out of you, that's when they want to have a conversation. So you're just like, hey, man, I can't. So about 12 years passes. I go back up to, this is Rochester, New York. Go back to Rochester, haven't been there. I see this guy, and it takes a second, because we're kids when we know each other. But now 12 years has passed, so we're young adults. And I'm like, man, is that Carl Welty? And dude sees me, gets up, and you go back in time. I'm like, he's going to come over here and beat my ass. Instead, hands out like, dude, where you been? Great to see you, blah, 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 blah. And again, and we ended up having a fine conversation. I did not revisit any of the stuff that had happened, but the whole time I'm talking to him, like, does he have amnesia? Do you forget?
It's like a bygone thing.
Yeah, right. The only reason you stopped trying to murder me is because we physically moved to Baltimore. I mean, like, nothing good.
Do you know what a terrible person you were?
You were absolutely dreadful, man.
Yeah. Kids can be bad at times.
His sister was hot, but man, he sucked.
Reese, we asked, who was your arch enemy growing up? This is a doozy. A Texas teen has been hit with animal cruelty charges after being accused of poisoning a rival's show goat.
What?
The 17-year-old named Aubrey is accused of using a drench gun to force pesticide down the throat of the animal named Willie.
Oh, no.
So this all went down October 23rd in a barn at Cedar Park Vista Ridge High School. Less than a day later, the goat started convulsing and showing signs of respiratory issues, then dropped dead. All right? So Aubrey was shown on video holding supplies as she headed to the goat pen in the barn with a syringe in her hand that she can soon be seen repeatedly cramming down the goat's mouth as he tries to get away from her. She's said to have returned twice during the same day, apparently to see how the goat was doing. But cops who searched her phone say her search history included poisoning pets, what you should know, how much bleach can kill an animal, and
come on,
and how to clear a search history. After the goat died, the veterinarian...
Wait a minute. They went through her search history, and one of the things they found was how to clear her search history.
Yes. So the veterinarian starts doing the autopsy. Or the necropsy, and said the smell of pesticide permeated the room when the goat's stomach was open. They determined the goat had died of intoxication from a pesticide used for parasite control in livestock. Then, as the investigation went on, the young lady named Aubrey first denied it, then admitted she tried to feed the goat pesticide, after revealing she thought the 15-year-old classmate who owned the goat was a cheater. They were in a competition for goats. She also apparently confessed she tried to kill the goat 2 other times. So, believe it or not, this young woman could see 2 years behind bars if convicted of the felony charge of cruelty to livestock animals. She has been released from custody on a $5,000 bond.
Okay, Carl Welty sucked, but as far as I know, he wasn't trying to poison anyone's pets.
Yeah,
I'll give him a little slack.
It was all about the FAA competition as the best looking goat or the.
How does one cheat in making your goat better looking?
How do you cheat if it comes to judges determining who has a sexy goat? You know what I mean? Like,
well, the goat with the fishnets and heels. Like, come on.
But is that cheating? I mean, that's the thing. If they say look, you bring your goat, either way, look. If you go to Pornhub, or so I've been told, they have different thumbnails and categories you can go to. We have different opinions about what we want to see. If you're into puffy nipples, that's your thing. Chicks with big asses, that's your thing. Chicks with hairy hoo-haws, that's your thing, right? So we're all judges, though, and you bring in your goat. I got a different thing I'm looking for. than maybe Ted is, right? But how do you cheat to win a beauty contest, particularly if you're a goat?
There's got to be things that the goat needs.
Like what?
Well, I mean, if she's poisoning the
size.
goat, it's probably throwing up all over the place. That's unattractive.
Well, yeah, that's unattractive. But
doesn't show well.
But that's one thing if you're accusing her of doing something to your goat to make your goat look less attractive.
Sure.
Then that's fair. Then I go, okay, maybe. But otherwise, how do you make a goat pretty? I've seen a lot of goats. I've never thought, damn.
I'm from Enumclaw, man. We can make them look pretty.
You can make them look pretty.
Random.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. Mike, welcome to the program and the random question. All right, this is an odd one, but I think we all can relate. What did you do that you really wished you'd taken a poop before doing?
Jump rope, sit-ups,
concert?
No. That would be going to watch a football game with a bunch of friends at a bar.
Well, at least you were at a bar, right?
Well, yeah, but I was with my girl that I was going to propose to at the time. Not that night, but yeah, we were pretty intimate at that point. But we were watching a football game, and we were chilling, and all of a sudden I felt a fart, and it wasn't a fart. And you know what's so crazy is I actually talked to you guys about this before, was having a falafel, and it was not a fart. So yeah, this is stupid.
Okay.
I mean, was this just one solid poop that you needed to do, or did it mean multiple trips to the bathroom?
Nah, this was just I went to the bathroom, took off the britches, threw them in the garbage, and continue on with the night.
Took off the britches.
Wait, how do you explain that away when you see your buddies? Like, where are your pants, man?
Oh, well, I mean, not the pants. I mean...
threw away the underwear.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. Okay. I think mine, obviously, is that half marathon that I ran with Castle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact that you chose to do that, to me, is so stupid in the first place.
2 miles in, I passed the bathroom, but that was the first bathroom along the way, and there was a line that was probably 15 to 20 people deep. So there were 2 porta potties at that location.
So what was your thought? The deeper I get into this, the less people more than likely at a line?
Well, my thought was, wow, that's a lot of women, and they take a long time.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay. So I asked the person at the table, like, no, man, it's a mile 5. I was like, mile 5? I can do 3 miles. I can do 3 miles, right? I get to mile 5, there's no station. Get to mile 6, there's a table. I'm like, where's the bathroom? They're like, oh, it's at mile 7, mile 8. And I was like, I should not have had McDonald's. That was the worst move ever. Get to 8, there's still no bathroom. Finally, at 9, I get there, man. And I mean, I blow this thing up. And you know how bad a bathroom already smells at a state or national park.
Yeah.
It's about as bad as ever. Now, there's also another factor involved that most people don't think about, but it's true. The amount of mosquitoes that live underneath those toilets and those holes is probably the biggest population of mosquitoes in all of Washington State. I mean, they're all under there. They're loving the turds.
Right.
I mean, it's moist, it's warm, it's humid, it's got all the elements. As soon as you sit your ass down, man, it's feeding time. All right? So, and you're dangling, because you got to.
Right.
But, man, I blew this thing out. I get up. I'm swatting mosquitoes off my ass. Now they're coming up through the actual seat because of a... Oh, no. So I'm just swatting mosquitoes. And Ted, I think I'd describe it to you. It's like getting a wet bathing suit off of a kid, man. Like, especially a girl. Yeah, you're sweating and you can't even pull your pants up. And you just, oh, God. I get a mile down the road, man, and it hits me again. I'm like, oh, my God, there's more. So I've still
there's more.
I've still got 3 miles to go just holding this thing in. And then by the time that we get to the bottom of the hill, the bus driver got drunk the night before and didn't show up to pick us up. So we're all just sitting at the bottom of the hill like, I am going to crap myself. The reason, just
a couple texts came in as far as when you really wish you had pooped before something happened. Someone says sneezing. They're like this one. I got into a fight. I pooped my pants when I tried to lift them and slam them to the ground.
No.
Someone else trying to be charitable says, I'm doing the MS walk with my sister. I ended up essing my pants about halfway through. But, I mean, luckily there was a porta potty, but there was a thing that destroyed all along my boxers. That said, I left them in the porta potty.
I mean, the sport, doing something athletic, you clearly want to try to clear out.
Yes.
But I would say even athletic adjacent. Like, if you're going to go to a tailgate, say it's a noon kickoff, and you got to get there early, like, make sure you empty the bowels before you go to that tailgate.
Yeah, if you think you need to, you do. Like, trust your body. When your body says, hey, man, I really think you should do this. Like, trust it.
Or unexpected or unplanned drug use. Because you really didn't know that you really didn't know that you're going to get into those worlds before, it wasn't on the plan.
I just went to a party. I did not know this would happen. I'm going to partake.
It's like if you hadn't had a coffee in a year and someone goes, here's a big cup of coffee, and you're like, sweet, and you just chug it. Next thing you know, like, I got to poop. Yep. About the same thing. But that normally happens at like midnight, or like when you're at a festival or something, you're like, ooh, this is not doing my stomach very well right now. I didn't eat a lot, but it still feels like I just need to absolutely exit everything.
I would say the other bad one is when you need to go and, like, not that it's happened to me recently, but you're staying at somebody else's home and they keep offering breakfast and you're slowly sipping your coffee and finally you have to go, hey, like, thank you. I need to finish my morning constitution before I start eating.
Exactly. Reese Mass, what did you do that you really wish you'd poop before doing? If you're looking to improve performance, both cognitively and physically, you need to start by giving a crap. Go to the toilet, empty your bowel if you're about to compete in a triathlon. That makes sense. It'll make you both faster and smarter, according to 2 recent studies. The latest research involved 13 triathletes, a cognitive test called the Stroop test, and a magnesium oxide laxative.
Jesus.
The results, the athletes performed measurably better, much better, on not only a cognitive test and voiding their large intestines, a finding that suggests an underexplored link between the rectum and cognitive function.
I mean, I can see why it's underexplored. I don't think anyone ever thought about the connection.
Yeah. They say the link has interesting implications, not just for peak performance, but for understanding cognitive decline. The most striking finding of the study is the unequivocal improvement observed in Stroop test performance from all participants consuming magnesium oxide. Basically, even in the absence of that, defecation led to improved Stroop test results for 9 out of 13 individuals, which is pretty impressive.
They should have put that in The Wizard of Oz, right? They finally see the wizard, and the scarecrow's like, man, I just wanted to brain. The wizard's like, nah, dog, you need to poop.
Got poop first.
You get a whole lot smarter.
More of the random question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
College holds a mythic place in American culture. On the new Campus Files podcast, we uncover the scandals you won't hear on the campus tours. Find Campus Files on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dreaming of a 6-night getaway to paradise? Escape to the islands of Tahiti and Moorea with Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. This all-inclusive vacation package is designed to take you to a tropical haven, starting with nonstop flights from Los Angeles or Seattle to Tahiti. From the vibrant cabins to the warmth of our Polynesian crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. Your package includes luxurious hotel stays, ensuring that your experience is as comfortable as it is enchanting. Start each day with a delicious Polynesian breakfast. Enjoy exciting excursions that showcase the beauty and culture of the islands, and take advantage of convenient transfers that make your trip seamless from start to finish. All of this begins at just $26.95 per person. Whether you're looking to explore crystal clear waters, unwind on pristine beaches, or immerse yourself in rich Polynesian culture, Tahiti and Moorea offer endless possibilities for both adventure and relaxation. Call 1-877-468-2448 now to book your Tahiti and Moorea escape.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Slow drain being a pain? Call Pinky. That pipe's being a little leaky? Call Pinky. When the toilet won't flush and you're in a rush? Call Pinky. When your shower lost all its spray power? Call Pinky. When your sink's on the blink? Call Pinky. Pinky's Plumbing promises to lick all your plumbing problems quick. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider, satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today. 99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
That's a 20-year announcement coming up at 4:30. One of many that we will have this year.
Yes, indeed.
This is a big one, though. This is a good one.
Well, it should be.
We're kicking off our 20th year broadcasting in Seattle in style. So 4:30, we'll have the details on that. Right?
In style, as we do all things.
Yes. And, of course, it all goes to charity. 4:30 is the time on that. In the meantime, it is a random question. Question 206-803-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Brett. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Hey, this is Fred.
Fred.
All right, what's up,
Welcome
Fred?
to the men's room.
Yeah, I got two pretty good poop stories.
All right, what do you got?
One is I wish I would have gone before I went to Home Depot.
Well, they have plenty of toilets in there, Fred.
Yeah, but I didn't. That wasn't the problem. I had a lot of shopping to do, and I was there for about an hour because I had electrical and plumbing and lumber and paint and everything you can imagine. So it took me about an hour. I got all this stuff in my cart, and then I think I'm going to fart, but it's not. And so I didn't feel anything running down my legs, so I thought, well, maybe I could just go check out. And I went to the checkout stand that had the big fan overhead that blows everything around.
Yeah.
So people are going to know somebody crapped their pants, but they're not going to know it's me. So I kind of separate myself from everybody. I get all checked out. I'm wheeling my cart out of there, and this lady passes me, and she locks eyes with me, and it was like ESP. She knew, I knew she knew, and she knew I knew she knew. It was just like...
Are you sure she knew, or you just having that paranoid moment where you think everyone knows what I've done?
Kind of like being on mushrooms.
Right.
No, there were a bunch of people there, but she was the only one that locked eyes with me.
Okay, she knew.
Well, Fred, that's not good. All right, Fred, let's go with this one. Have you ever received a big bonus at work or got a lot of cash from either one of the jobs you did or your employers?
I did in the Navy. I got a re-enlistment bonus.
Was that pretty sizable back in the day?
Yeah, it was over $5,000 or something.
Okay, that's
great.
Pretty sizable.
I was in the 70s.
Well, how much time did you have to put in before you get the re-enlistment bonus?
4 more years, I think. It really wasn't.
Well, at that point in time, that's a down payment on a home.
Yeah, it was around the 80s, though, so that was Reaganomics taking over, and nobody was hiring, so I needed to stay in anyway.
No, well, hey, $5,000 bonus. They don't do that for us.
No. The new wage went in for servers and restaurant employees.
$20 or something.
Where was it? $17.50 before or around?
I don't remember. It's a pretty sizable jump. I know a lady and I'm sure more people would do it, but a woman in West Seattle, she had her business for how many years? She's like, I got to close it, man. And she's like, look, I'm not against the rule. I'm not. But I can't afford it because everything else in Seattle is also super expensive. So she's like, the rule, great. You know, I want to pay people a living wage. I just can't personally do it.
Damn. Reason we asked if you ever received a bonus at work. Somebody got a big bonus yesterday, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith.
Geno
made $6 million yesterday in a game that did not matter to the Seattle Seahawks at all.
What was his annual salary? Do we know?
I do not know his salary.
The problem with the NFL is that all the numbers you see, like, it's hard to figure out what's actually real.
So you get $10 million a year,
deals, right? But a lot of it is incentive based.
Correct. Okay, that's it. So he had these contract escalators, they call them. So the Seahawks win 30-25. And because of that win, Geno Smith walked off the field with $6 million more in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So one of these stipulations, win 10 games or make the playoffs. So by winning yesterday, 30-25, the team ended with a 10-7 record.
Yeah.
So that's number one.
Also, 10-7, same exact record as the Rams. Same divisional record.
Same.
One's hosting a game, one's out of the playoffs.
I don't understand that either.
They broke it down, but they had to go so far down the wormhole. They're saying, like, well, they end up with the same record, same divisional record. I want to say same conference record. And then you start getting into the weird NFL math where it's like, but we think his mom's cuter and he doesn't look good in heels, right? I mean, it gets crazy.
Because other teams that win their division automatically are going to get in.
Period, right.
Number two, finish with 4,282 yards passing. What guy in the Seahawks organization comes up with that random number? Like, no, man, do 281. No, we're going to do 282. One more yard. Weird number. He needed 185 yards to get there. Managed to do it in the fourth quarter with time on the clock. Geno ended with 4,320 passing yards. And then the final stipulation. End with here's another weird number, 69.7555. 0.7555 completion rate or better. He was 20 of 27, giving him a 70.4 completion rate for the season. He is the 20th NFL quarterback to ever finish at or above 70%.
Damn. Okay.
So, pretty impressive.
All right.
With that in mind, $6 million. Bleacher Report adds, there were two other escalators Smith did not hit that would have brought him another $5 million. Have 30 passing touchdowns, he ended with 21, and a 100.874 passer rating. He had a 93.2 rating. ESPN explains escalators aren't the same as incentives, which are secured the moment a player hits them. In Smith's case, the $6 million in escalator money will be tacked onto his $10 million roster bonus that he'll be set to receive on March 16th, as long as he's still part of the Seahawks organization.
I was going to say, someone just texted in and says, look, he only gets the money next year. He doesn't get it today, but only if he plays on the Hawks next season. So basically, the team can put all these escalators in there and like, well, Geno, we decided to move on. And then all of this is for naught.
Yeah.
Pretty good season. I mean, nobody predicted this for the Hawks this season, right? Got a new coach coming in. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Finished 10-7. Like I said, the Rams just have, I don't know, sexier moms or something, so they found their way into the playoffs. But he did better than I think. And look, when they put those escalators in there, that's their way of saying, we don't think you can do that. Because nobody wants to give you money. Yeah. Nobody wants to give you extra money.
Because like, he's coming up, I think, on the last year of his deal.
Yep.
So you figure if he's going to play hardball and hold out a camp, you could also be like, well, do you want this money?
So
that's part of their thing, right? You could sign for a smaller contract, but it's like, look, you signed a slightly smaller contract than you'd like, but you also get $6 million handed to you, like up front.
Now, didn't Mike Evans for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, didn't he also get money yesterday?
There was a lot of people that, like, this last week of the season are going to hit that stuff, but Mike Evans was a big one.
He got
I know he beat the Jerry Rice thing.
Tied it.
Oh, he tied it.
Okay. No, Jerry Rice, I want to say, still owns it. But he is second all time as far as the most consecutive seasons with 1,000 yards receiving. Because I think Jerry Rice hit 14 seasons, it's unlikely anyone's going to catch him, but he made it to 11. So that puts you second on the list all the time.
Now, there's the opposite end, too, where you have, what's his name, Cooper Rush, the quarterback down in Dallas.
Yeah.
Who had been starting since Dak went down. So he had one of those things in his contract. He needed to have like 55% of the Cowboys snaps.
Okay.
So basically, if he had played, he would have had it. But they sat him down and played Trey Lance.
So that he wouldn't get the money.
I guarantee you that's why.
I mean,
Look,
you could make
Jerry
the argument,
Jones.
do you want to see what this young kid has? Because he basically never gets to play. He never played in San Fran. But a lot of people took it as, we don't want to pay him.
I think both of those things are true. Like, look, man, let's see what this guy has in the last game, and also let's save money.
Well, fair enough to say that Barkley probably had something in his contract that said, hey, if you beat Dickerson's single-season rushing record, you probably get some cash, too. I'm sure every NFL running back has something close
So we're not going to play
Sure,
him.
I think Barkley, too, was just more of like he could own the record. But that one I'm torn on, but I get it.
My son did not think it was okay. And look, my
but
son's
the
not an
Eagles are
Eagles
sitting
fan.
down everybody. So the other thing, too, is, right, because you only get to, sit 6 players?
Something like that.
But, like, a few of them were offensive linemen. So it's like, dude,
right, without the
Eagles
offensive
are
line.
very good right now. If he gets hurt in the last week of the season, Sirianni would have been run out on a stick.
2 yards short of the record, right? And he goes down with a knee injury. Imagine going to Philly on that day.
Yeah, I mean, look, take the incentives, escalators out of it. I think it's still a hard conversation in the NFL. Some coach or somebody was saying, like, I don't know what to do. You only get to bet. You only get to sit down 6 of them. So you know what I mean. So like, I sit down Miles. I look at Thrill. I go, you're not that you play. So it's kind of like, or do you just play everybody? And then you look at the Chiefs. They basically just said, screw it, we'll forfeit this game.
Yeah. Oh, they quite did. Oh, guess who it is, Ted? James, welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
James, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's go with this one, James. What did you do to get out of going to work? What have you done to get out of going to work?
I mean, what haven't I done?
So you call out pretty often.
I mean, the way you said that.
Yeah.
Not lately. I've been pretty good lately. But, anything. Honestly, anything. I have a son, so, that's pretty much the go-to.
Well, I kind of felt children were really good from a social perspective, more so than a job perspective.
Sure. Oh, God,
so,
yeah.
like my kid's got something going on. Anymore, it's just my kid's coming down to have dinner with me and we're going to hang out. That is an honest answer. But when they were growing up, because they pack their schedule on the weekends anyway. So it's not like you have the most free time in the world. So sometimes you just want a night to just, hang out by yourself or do whatever you got to do.
Enjoy the time with them, but at the same time, you got to go to work.
Right. I never use that excuse to get out of work. I use it to get out of social crap.
To enjoy my time with them, I probably need to go to work to get the money to go enjoy my time with them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what was the best excuse you ever made outside of your kids?
Oh, geez. I hope no one's listening. Let's see.
Maybe don't pick one from your current job.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a good one. Let's see. I've definitely used my cat.
Your cat?
My cat got away. Can't come to work.
The cat. See, man, that's not good for you. If you said, hey, I have to take my cat to the vet because it got into something, I go, cool. But if it's like, hey, man, my cat ran away. It's like, well, it's a cat. So either it's going to come back or it's not.
That is what was said, but I was like, it's an indoor cat, man. It's going to die. I can't do that.
Yeah. That was a weird conversation. I've had that conversation for work.
What's that?
I just called Robin one morning. I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to be like a half an hour late. She's like, is everything okay? And I'm like, my cat's going to die here in a second. And she's like, how do you know he's going to die? And I was like, I had to put his ass down.
Because I'm at the bed.
I was like, do you want anything from Chick-fil-A?
I remember that.
Because it was right across the street. I was like, do you think these guys want chicken sandwiches? I'm like, I'm going to do this, but I'm starving.
I remember I tried to get out of going to school, and it worked. There was one teacher who finally called me out, and it was that my grandfather had died. Now, the beauty of this was he had already passed. So it's not like I'm cursing him, but I'm like, all right, I'm using this. I just don't want to go to school. So I did not realize that in this one particular school year, I had used the excuse multiple times, and it was my biology teacher, sweet lady, but I remember I came in and I had the note, quote unquote, of course, written by my parents and signed by them, that said, hey, man, sorry that he missed like a random Tuesday. It's not even like, you missed a couple of days. Yeah. Some day in the middle of the week. He missed his grandfather died, and she just looked at me. She never said anything as an accusation, but she just looked at me and said, baby, how many grandfathers do you have? I'm like, oh, because this is 3. I'm like, well, no more.
The one I got in trouble for in high school, right? So I kept score for the basketball team my senior year, right? So Morgan Wooten's this legendary coach, winningest coach in high school history. So DeMatha there's a lot of famous teachers and stuff, but Coach Wooten, he walks on water there. So one day he needed something done. He pulls me out of class, and he just hand writes a note. Ted was with me, Coach Wooten. I used this thing for about a month. Like I'm just blatantly just not going to class, BSing with people, and then finally the one teacher was like, "Stop." And I'm like, what? She's like, first of all, Coach hasn't been here in 2 weeks. He's been on vacation. She's like, you showed me the same note like 3 times. Because, I mean, I was just so confident, like, bam, got that note from Coach Wooten. I'm out.
Jesus. Ridgebass, what did you...
it was awesome, Mike.
Look, I, honest to God, if I was in a position of management and I had someone, the number one way to get out of it, like, I have not been able to get off the toilet all morning.
Yeah, don't come in, man.
As soon as you tell me that, I'm like, I have been there. I know the game. Just stay home.
That's fine.
I mean, if you told me you were throwing up, I'm like, well, do you have a fever? I would ask.
They ask questions.
Right. Yeah. Not when you're sitting on the throat.
It is amazing. You say, man,
it's just an immediate.
I have diarrhea. They're like, hey, okay, let's. No, we don't have to talk about it, man.
It's almost the equivalent of saying, I know you're pregnant.
Right.
So, like, of course, stay home. Whatever.
Do what you got to do, man.
It's almost the same category as like, yeah, that works. No questions asked.
No, you're right. You do not get questions about diarrhea.
Yeah. So,
just remember that, kids.
No one wants to ask it. Is it runny?
They don't want right. They're not going to question. What's the texture? What color does it
leave
have?
a yellow film on top?
And oh God. And I've been on the other side of it too with a friend. Like, what is your problem? All right, fine, I have diarrhea. All right, yeah, man.
My bad.
If I see you, I see you.
Yeah, even if you're supposed to go to dinner with somebody.
Oh yes, I got diarrhea, man.
Look, man, I got home and I can't. Man, I don't trust leaving the home right now. Okay,
right.
You get a pass. Oh, the reason we asked, what did you do to get out of work?
Diarrhea pass.
Yeah. A 32-year-old Indian man admitting to cutting off 4 fingers of his left hand.
Wow.
To avoid having to continue working as a computer operator at a relative's company. He staged an accident that left him missing 4 fingers of his left hand to avoid having to tell his boss he wanted to quit his job. Earlier, he showed up at a police station in his native city of Surat to report that 4 fingers were missing from his left hand. He claimed to have been riding his motorcycle to a friend's house when he suddenly felt dizzy and passed out on the side of the road.
All right.
When he woke up 10 minutes later, 4 fingers of his left hand had been chopped off. That's what he says.
Wait, so he's not saying he lost them in the accident. He's saying by the time he woke up, someone came along and chopped off his fingers.
Obviously, police believed the man because they thought that his fingers had been stolen for black magic rituals. And who wouldn't think that initially?
See, that's the beauty of living in a place that believes in black magic. Your excuses can be anything.
Yeah. And also learned in Africa that witches are real, according to people.
Don't argue with the man.
I did not say a word. I listened to the conversations. I'm like, oh, they're being dead serious about this.
I think there is witches. I don't know if it's like the comic book witch we think of.
Right?
Agreeing on a broom, like Wicked.
Yeah, like the black hat and the cats and everything. But I don't know. I've been somewhere talking to someone else like, you're a witch.
Yeah.
You just came up with that.
Yeah.
Conversation.
The conversation was leaning towards that way. And she was like, I am. And I was like, I knew it.
Closed circuit television footage was the demise of this guy's plan, as he basically pulled over right where there was a camera. So he parks his bike near the road before casually walking away and returning with 4 fingers missing from his left hand. No one saw him passed out on the side of the road. Pressed by police, the man admitted to cutting his fingers off by himself. He brought a sharp knife with him to a shop in Singapore. And 4 days later on Sunday night, he went to this road, parked his motorbike, and walked about a block down the road, cut off his 4 fingers, threw the fingers away, put them in a bag, and walked back.
Damn.
All that to avoid going to work.
Because he didn't have the guts to tell his boss he wanted to quit. Man, just say you want to quit.
I mean, I've seen, probably in kids, but I have definitely said to a kid once, you're limping on the wrong leg.
Oh, yeah, well, they're trying to...
They didn't want to practice or some team I was coaching. I was like, your limp keeps changing.
And what did he say?
He basically knows the game's up at that point. It's like, all right, look, if you don't want to practice, that's fine. You're not going to play, but...
kids will hold the thermometer up to the light bulb, say they feel sick, and they're like, your temperature's 136 degrees.
And that young man...
So here's the thing, you're dead.
And nowadays, dude, especially after the pandemic, everybody's got the cool little thermometer gun. Like, I don't know. When I was a kid, I could try to fudge my way around it. But, like, once the thermometer got broken out, you really didn't have a choice.
Right.
Well, yeah, my kids tried that for a little while, but same thing. We have 2 of those now, right? I mean, you can zap them from 2 feet away if you want. I don't feel good. And I'm like, all right, man, take your temperature. And I'm like, well, here's the good news. There's nothing wrong with you. Mm-hmm. You just don't feel good. But get your ass up. You're going to school.
Yeah.
You have no temperature. You are not contagious.
I was the parent that always did not believe my kids at times. So, like, Dad, I don't feel well. You know, I don't know if I can go to sleep or, you know, go to school this morning. I'm like, you seem blah. And I'm like, oh, I should have believed you.
Yeah, you're telling the truth.
Yeah, just puked all over me. Jesus.
That's awful.
Yeah, like, now I feel worse. I know you feel bad. You're not lying.
Right.
Now I'm covered in vomit that smells like McDonald's chicken nuggets.
And if I just believed you, I would have
Exactly.
avoided all of this. Yeah, my parents never believed me either. And to be fair, I was about 50-50 on this. But still, even when I was telling the truth, like, I don't feel good, they absolutely, positively did not believe me. And it actually goes back to that thermometer gun thing. They'd take my temperature and be like, there's nothing wrong with you. But, like, sincerely, I don't feel good. And you're right. A lot of times, if you're going to end up with the squirts or you're going to puke, there's no fever that goes with it.
Right.
It's just your body doing whatever your body does. And then my mom gets a call from school in 2nd grade because your son pooped his pants sitting in class. And I'm
look.
You sent me. I told you I didn't feel good. But kids don't necessarily know how to explain the symptoms. It's just, I don't feel good. That's the beginning and end of the whole thing.
My grandmother was a nurse for years, for like 30, 40 years of her life. So my mom, this was her move, always. You know, your grandmother, she gave me her thermometer, but it's a rectal thermometer. And you know that's the most accurate. So do we need to take your temperature? And I'm like, no, man, I'll sweat it out. You know?
Right.
So that,
Yeah. But even if you actually felt bad,
it was not a rectal thermometer.
Oh, it's just a threat.
It was a regular thermometer because at one point when I was sick, I got this thing in my mouth and I'm like, Mom, is this the rectal thermometer? And she's like, we don't have a rectal thermometer. I was just testing you. You know?
What is the difference? Can you look and tell the difference between a mouth thermometer?
I don't know because it just had that little silver tip.
You know the difference between a poop knife and a knife?
It's a knife.
It's a knife, but if you cut poop, then it's a poop knife.
I think it's
the rectal
just
thermometer.
where it's used.
That's what I mean. So it's like, is it a rectal thermometer or is it just a thermometer? You know, like if it's specifically a rectal thermometer, I don't want that. But if it's just a thermometer, don't call it a rectal thermometer.
Well, it's kind of like the bowl, you know, when you're growing up that you like puked in.
Right, that's your puke bowl.
Right, but then somebody washes it out and they serve food in it.
It's a punch bowl.
You got popcorn in it the next day.
Yeah, it's like, they don't know the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Not going to tell them.
Soldy. More of the random question coming up 206-8.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah?
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/Confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL Limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
103 Rock.
99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Don't forget, 4:30, we got the 20-year anniversary announcement coming up. One of many. But this is a good one. So be sure to join us at 4:30 if you happen to, get out of your car, whatever the deal is. Let's go up right after emails on our random question 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Ed. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Hola! Ed, welcome to the program. Random question, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay. Kind of a hypothetical here. Let's just assume that over the holidays that someone gifted you a lottery ticket. All right? Mm-hmm. You scratch off and you win big. At that point, what do you do? I mean, you win big.
That occurred.
That actually occurred to you?
Yes, we played for lottery, scratch tickets.
Okay.
So I said if I won the card game and the scratch tickets were the gift, whoever won the card game, and I said if I win, I will split it evenly. So, but I didn't win jack.
All right, but you laid down the rules beforehand.
Before it.
Okay. So let's just say it was $500,000. And you're playing with 5 friends. That means each of you get $100,000.
So you end up walking with about 65.
Correct.
By the time it's all said and done, each you walk with 65. Or you could lie about it and walk with about $280,000, $290,000.
That is the other end of it, right?
Yes.
But you would honestly split the money.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
That's the answer.
All right, but in this case, though, you set the rules in advance. Now, let's say someone did.
I did.
But in this case, someone just gives you the ticket. They're not asking for anything.
There's something attached to it.
It's, I don't know, your buddy's just like, here, man, I had $3. I bought your ticket. You scratch this bad boy, $500,000. Do you keep a straight face to not indicate? Because if you win and celebrate, you know that person's looking for something.
Well, correct. But I got lottery tickets for my daughter for Christmas in my stocking, and I told her when we opened them, I took them out. I said, I'm going to give the ticket back to her so she can claim it because I didn't want my name out there.
Ah, okay. I see.
Fair enough. We had a Christmas party, holiday party.
She would share with me.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
So we had a holiday party and there were a bunch of different gifts. And basically, when your name was called, if the gift was whatever it was, we had like Nirvana, vinyl.
What do they call it? The cutthroat?
Yeah, cutthroat, Christmas gifting, whatever.
It's kind of like White Elephant.
Right.
So you could take somebody's gift, but once it's taken a second time, it's
done.
It can't be stolen again.
So we had lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I played it.
I go home and I've got all these lottery tickets. Now, I took that gift from Ted.
Yeah.
But I just won $500,000.
Would you even tell him?
That's the question. So that's the
Ted, would you want to know?
So, but I'm not going to scratch them off in front of anybody.
No.
I'm gonna wait until I get home. I scratch it. Boom. There's $500,000. Now, when I come back to work the following day, do I go, Ted, remember those lottery tickets and you got that free T-shirt?
Yeah.
I want $500,000. I don't think you do that, do you?
Well, a guy here, and granted, it's a lot less money. It said, I'm from the text. This happened to me. I won $50,000, $36,000 after taxes. But I bought the guy who gave it to me at Work Exchange a $400 bottle of whiskey.
I mean, I think it depends
But
on
I think
the money.
at $36,000, a $400 bottle of whiskey, I'm like, cool. You win $500,000, so you walk up with, say, $360,000. I'm like, man, I do appreciate the whiskey.
See, for
And
me,
I'm gonna drink it.
$10,000 is enough for a $400 bottle. 'Cause
Sure,
I'm walking,
easy.
yeah. I mean,
That's why I think it depends on the money.
Because it's not life
But I definitely, if it's over like, I think if it's over like 50,000 or something, like I'm just kick. If you gave me that as a gift, I'll kick you some money back.
Okay. Even if you didn't scratch in front. So, like, I have no idea. Because I wouldn't even think to check up on it, right? I give you a ticket, you win $100,000, right? We meet at the bar, we're at the watering hole, whatever. If you don't bring it up, I promise you it would not cross my mind. Would you still say, hey, man, you know what? I won $100,000 off that ticket. Here's a bottle of whiskey. I'm thinking I'd just be quiet.
I'd be like, dude, that's like 0.5% of all the money
You're going to do the math.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. The reason we asked, you win the lottery and it's a gift and you win big, what do you do? Someone asked the internet that exact question. What is the proper etiquette? And they say in this instance that you win $5,000.
$5,000, okay.
On a lottery ticket. It's a gift. Here are some of the responses. A lot of people say, pretend that absolutely nothing happened. Ah, man, I lost. While folding it up and putting it in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
All right? They say, resist the urge to scratch it off in front of everyone, even if you have to say you're going to wait to use your lucky penny or something like that.
That's more my thing. It's like, I'm just not doing this in front of you.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
Some people say use it as a test. If your family, friends, coworker is anything but happy for you to win, that's not cool. So if they're ticked off, not good. So why would the gift be conditional on the ticket being a losing one?
Mm-hmm.
So basically they're saying, like, we want you to lose. But if you win, then they get all butthurt.
Sure, yeah.
So basically they're
that's
saying,
the situation you're trying to avoid, which is why I don't think you do it in front of people. I got set up on this once. We used to work with a guy named Drip and his buddy, who was the Breath. What the hell is his name? Scamponi. All right. So Scamponi, I could not remember his name. Honest to God, that's the best clue if you knew him. So I walk into Drep's studio, and Scamponi, he's playing it real low. It's around Christmas time. And back then, I am dead broke. So I'm still part-time and did all this kind of thing. And he's like, hey, man, here you got a couple of scratch-offs. And I scratch it off, and I'm standing there with the two of them. They can't see the ticket, but they can see me scratch it. So they already know that it's a phony-ass lottery ticket. It's $10,000. And I'm telling you, I kept my cool so much. I was like, oh, cool, man, thanks. And I put it in my pocket, and then they're still staring at me. I'm like, what? And the Drep just kind of smiles, and he goes, we know you won $10,000. It's a fake lottery ticket. I'm like, God damn it, man. They're we just wanted to see what you would do. I said, now you know.
Some people say offer a kickback, like you said, Ted. Maybe take them out for dinner or drinks. Pay it forward. You buy them a lottery ticket. Look, you win $500,000.
I'm going to buy you a lottery ticket.
Hey, you're going to buy me one back? You really think that there's a chance in hell that I'm going to win the same amount of money you did? Some say split it with the giver. They would give the gift giver a cut, anywhere from 10% up to half, which would be very generous. And they say that depends on the relationship. Someone you like, share some of the winnings. If you're not that close, don't tell them and keep it all.
This is why I think it's cool when adults buy lottery tickets for their kids. And like that guy said, you put them on a stocking, whatever. The kids are all excited. And they're more excited to scratch it off. But here's the thing. If they're under 18, you're still the one that has to go claim it.
Yeah. And I've never seen that amount. I definitely have done white elephants where I just put like a can of beer and like a bunch of scratch-off tickets in there.
Yeah.
And somebody won like 500. But like,
that's still good.
Yeah, but I mean, same thing. I was just like, oh, awesome. You won off those tickets.
And then one person
if somebody said 50 G's, I'd be like, you got to kick it down.
What's the number amount where you would really hope they gave us a kick? Well, like you said, $500, $1,000. I'm going to have fun with that. I win $10,000.
Just some drinks. If you won $5,000, I'd be happy with going out and you take care of the tab.
All right.
I think that'd be fair.
$10,000.
$10,000. I'm going to
two big dinners, maybe.
I say now I want a really expensive steak.
Right. Maybe the Met. Go down to the Met Sprawling. I think the level of
$50,000. Right. This is not going to change my life. Obviously, it's going to ease.
Give me $1,000, dude.
I was to say I want 5 G's.
Give me $1,000.
Well, I hope Miles gets me the ticket.
Yeah. And finally, one person said, my uncle is the master at the giving of lottery tickets. My uncle gives all of the family members lottery tickets for every Christmas, but he fills all of his info in on the back of the tickets in case one is a winner.
Damn, man. That's not a gift.
Which is his way of joking, obviously.
Yeah.
But either way, then he can negotiate what you're getting compared to what he's getting.
Another text came in related to my story. It says, hey, man, that happened to me. My family gave me a ticket in my stocking, and I won $10,000. And they were laughing at me because I was going crazy. And then they told me that it was fake. I was so bummed. If you get the chance, I don't know what you would Google for this, but there was a guy who got a fake lottery ticket at work. Okay, coworkers gave him a fake lottery ticket. He did not know it was fake, and it hit for like $2 million or something like this. And my man instantly jumps up on his desk, grabs his crotch, starts saying all these expletives to the boss, and now you can see how horrified all the other coworkers are. Went on and on, like kicked over the office chair, all this crap. And I'm pretty sure that he actually left the building before they got the chance to tell him it was fake. Because he told every single coworker what he thought of him. Like, you're stupid and you stink. Karen, your chicken salad tastes like ass. Boss grabs his crotch, spits on the ground, kicks over the chair. And they're like, dude, I don't think he knows it's fake yet. Yeah.
Apparently not.
Random.
Hello, Peter. Welcome to the men's room.
Welcome.
Hola. Peter, welcome to the program. Random question.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Peter. Why was 911 called? Where have you been where someone called? Maybe you called 911. What was the situation?
Where I called 911?
Or someone around you had to, yeah.
Someone, let's see. I don't know that.
You ever called the cops? I mean, you ever called for an ambulance?
Well, I've called the cops, but it's always the non-emergency line. I called 911 one time when I was down in Portland, and there was a guy lying on the sidewalk, like turning blue, and he ended up being that he had a heart attack.
Okay,
that's a very good reason to call 911.
What are some of the reasons where you called the non-emergency line?
Let's see, lunatic throwing chunks of concrete at pedestrians across the street from my house.
That's kind of a 911 call.
Yeah, I feel a little more 911.
No, don't hurry or anything. I mean, just wait till he hits a couple people.
Yeah, I mean, he was screaming just expletive after expletive, and from what I could tell, he had no idea who these people were, and he's just chucking hunks of concrete that were at the base of a light pole that was falling apart. And he was hucking them across the street at this couple that they're completely freaked out. And I'm looking like, this guy he's lost it, and he's going to hurt someone. So I called 911 for that.
Okay. I've never personally called 911. My daughter had a seizure. My wife called at the time. But I have never... I would remember pressing send after dialing 911.
I've called 911 by accident when smartphones were becoming a thing, and depending how you sat on it or whatever, there's like the automatic panic button or however either way. Look, first of all, I did not know it existed. And two, the phone was never in my hands, but the cops show up, open the door, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, what are you guys doing, like a wellness check or what? Like, dude, you called 911. I'm like, I did not call 911. Do you have a cell phone? I do. Is it a smartphone? I said, yeah, it is, man. So I pulled it out, and I'm like, I'll be damned, I called you guys. But they still have to come in and do a quick check anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I get it, but like, hey, just ignore anything that may or may not be illegal that's laying around. That is not why I called.
I called a non-emergency number last week. These people set up like a little bonfire at a guest spot in my building.
Oh, geez.
What? Wait, they did what?
Yeah, there was like, it wasn't like they were setting up camp for the night, but they definitely set up like they had a fire going. And it's like during the day, I'm like, all right, I'll wait till nighttime. There's not enough visiting parking. So I'm like, my buddy's coming over, we need that spot. But then I went inside, came back out, and at this point they had switched from eating soup to like shooting heroin or something.
Oh, geez.
So that's what I was like,
it's good to eat before that. You know what I mean?
That's
you lose your
like,
appetite
right.
when you're all,
I'll call the non-emergency number, but that's kind of a pain too.
Razor asked, why did you call 911 or who called 911 and why? As they say, 911 is for emergencies, not directions, dry cleaning, or overripe avocados. But ECOM, they handle approximately 2 million 911 calls per year. And they released their annual list of the top 10 unusual calls that were received by emergency police call takers in the year 2024. Basically, they do this in order to raise awareness of the importance of keeping 911 lines for emergencies only.
Yeah.
Obviously. So the top 10 list of calls that did not belong on 911 in 2024 included the neighbor that was wearing too much cologne.
Oh, come on.
Had 911 called on them. I am thoroughly convinced there's about 2 or 3 guys in this building. I have been on the elevator, and you can barely breathe. It is that thick.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I know who 2 of them are.
It is not female perfume.
No, this is cologne.
It's definitely male cologne. 911 was called because the dry cleaners stained their shirt. Another. McDonald's wouldn't open their doors at 5:45.
Oh, come on.
What time do they open?
I'm assuming that maybe the drive-thru opens up at... the store would not open. They wanted directions to a 24/7 Shoppers Drug Mart. One complained the power was out. Another requested technical support for the video game. A box of 38 avocados they purchased were rotten. Another left their phone in an Uber, required a 911 call, requesting help removing a wasp nest. And finally, there was a domesticated-looking bunny in the park that looked like it might be more of a pet than an actual animal. So they're telling you...
You don't need to call the cops. 911 on that one. Yeah.
Random.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Tim.
Hello, Tim.
You don't have him on yet.
That's on me, Tim. Hello, Tim. Welcome to the men's room. Yeah, we got you, man.
Hola. Tim, welcome to the new year and the random question, man. Oh, hey, Tim, what was the story that you were telling Mike about when we were gone? Like a replay or shot of the day or something?
Yeah, dude, this is like one of my new most embarrassing moments of my life, thanks to you guys. So I listen every day on the Odyssey app with these Bluetooth speakers, really, really high quality, loud Bluetooth speakers that wrap around my neck.
All right.
And I run them off of my phone. And I'm out here on Whidbey Island working for my best client right on the water, and there's like nobody around. These are all vacation homes. So you look in both directions, everybody's houses are black, no power on, mostly. So I haven't seen anybody for days and days, and I'm listening to your rerun, and and by the way, my body barely works now. I have a real difficult time making my legs work due to many, many accidents over the years. So I'm down on my hands and knees working out by the street, landscaping. I've been down on my hands and knees for quite a while. And, I haven't seen anybody in days and days. And all of a sudden, Thrill starts doing the shot of the day. And I instantly remembered the story. And I looked up, and there was these 2, 80-year-old women that were standing 10 feet away from me. And I'm like, oh, no, because I remembered the story. and I instantly went for my phone to turn it down and realized that my phone was in the kitchen of this house. And I couldn't turn it down. And my legs don't work. And I'm like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? So I just instantly started the process of standing up to run away, which I can't do. And Thrill starts his story. I'm halfway up. So the story is about a guy that died because he was electrocuted while in the bathtub masturbating. He was wearing a one-piece women's bathing suit. And he was electrocuted through his penis.
Oh, I remember that dude, man. Yeah. That's the one that popped on.
And so I'm just appalled. I glance up and I see this lady looking at me, and she's got this horrified look on her eyes. Her eyes are just popping out of her head. I'm just like, oh no. I was just so embarrassed. So I turned and I just looked away. And just sat there trying to get my legs to work so I could walk away. I finally get to walk away, but it was already too late. And of course, the kicker of the story at the end of the story is that this son of a bitch had a ping pong ball shoved up his ass. They found during the autopsy.
Okay.
And these two old ladies got to hear that whole thing.
That's crazy, because I was going to ask you what happened when you were landscaping. So that worked out all right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Tim, I would say I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm not. That brings me too much joy. Brings me too much
I knew
joy.
it was going to bring you joy. That's why I knew I had to come and share it with you guys.
Yeah. Well, you're not the first guy to comment on that, man. We had a dude who called, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and his thing was he wanted to introduce his child to our show. And I remember getting an email, and he goes, man, so my kid had heard about it but never heard the show. I'll put it on. We're driving around. And, of course, his wife, this kid's mother, does not want, Junior listening to the show. And he's like, man, it'll be fine. So he puts the show on. We get to the shot of the day. And, Mike, you'll remember this one. It's about the manatee that was sodomized to death by his brother manatee. Yeah. And they found him dead at the bottom. And I just remember we got the email. It was like, Jesus Christ, man, look, I know you can't predict when my kid's going to listen, but that was his introduction.
That was brutal. That was also the same one where the eulogy went totally wrong, too.
Oh, no.
That was the
was that same episode?
Kid hasn't missed an episode since.
Yeah.
Glued.
He's got suspended a bunch. He's struggling in school, but man.
Yeah. We've got a special announcement concerning the men's room 20th anniversary, which is just starting, getting underway today, as a matter of fact. So announcement coming up at 4:30. And we've got your emails on the way next to the men's room at KISW.com.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads-Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
The details behind the Diddy indictment. Taylor Swift's stalkers. Jerry Lee trying to kill Elvis. Disgraceland dives into the dark side of entertainment every Tuesday. Follow and listen to Disgraceland on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dreaming of a 6-night getaway to paradise? Escape to the islands of Tahiti and Moorea with Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. This all-inclusive vacation package is designed to take you to a tropical haven, starting with non-stop flights from Los Angeles or Seattle to Tahiti. From the vibrant cabins to the warmth of our Polynesian crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. Your package includes luxurious hotel stays, ensuring that your experience is as comfortable as it is enchanting. Start each day with a delicious Polynesian breakfast, enjoy exciting excursions that showcase the beauty and culture of the islands, and take advantage of convenient transfers that make your trip seamless from start to finish. All of this begins at just $26.95 per person. Whether you're looking to explore crystal clear waters, unwind on pristine beaches, or immerse yourself in rich Polynesian culture, Tahiti and Moorea offer endless possibilities for both adventure and relaxation. Call 1-877-468-2448 now to book your Tahiti and Moorea escape.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers Stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Slow drain being a pain? Call Pinky. That pipe's being a little leaky? Call Pinky. When the toilet won't flush and you're in a rush? Call Pinky. When your shower lost all its spray power? Call Pinky. When your sink's on the blink? Call Pinky. Pinky's Plumbing promises to lick all your plumbing problems quick. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Are you you a bartender that dreads the phrase, "Hey, can you put the game on?" At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
What else? We're coming on to 4:30.
Yeah.
Maybe you heard something there. We're smooth, aren't we?
Don't scream surprise before they open the door.
Man, oh man. It's like the people that open up all the Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, no.
They wake up in the morning, there's nothing left.
Just wait. Just wait a minute.
Yes. But do we have time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com?
You've got mail. You've got mail.
A couple of birthdays. Guys, shout out to MF Shane. He turns 8 years old today.
MF Shane.
Yeah, I think you can do the math on that one. How about your penis is too small, a Homer Simpson fish sandwich in the green bean song? Thank you, guys. That from Shane's dad.
Fish sandwich. Are you sure?
Green bean. What?
Green bean.
Okay.
Green bean.
This one says, good day, y'all. Today we'd like to give a shout out to Jason Garcia, a.k.a. JGG, president of the Ted Smith Fan Club, Texas chapter.
Texas.
A great friend and a great guy to have the pleasure of meeting. I'll give Jason your penis is too small, and Coach Ted on Jason being president of the fan club. Thanks, guys. That from the Elk Plain Drifter and Amy G.
Well, it's pretty simple, all right? Listen, we all saw it this past weekend, maybe saw it in college bowl games. Everybody sees the starters. Most important thing, though, in some of those teams, who's running the B squad, right? Who's running the practice squad? Who's getting everybody prepared? Now, if Jason's not down there representing the Ted Smith Fan Club, we wouldn't have a chapter down there. I could sit here, I could be funny, get all the accolades. But without you being a part of the puzzle, we would have nothing. All right? It's not just me. It's a team.
You guys got a bar. What do you mean up? You know what I mean?
In Houston?
Yeah, wherever he is.
Honestly, it's one of the Little Woodrows.
Little Woodrows.
Little Woodrows, man. I prefer the one on West 6th in Austin, where they have 3 locations in Houston.
Jesus Christ.
And the one in Austin on West 6th is the Seahawks bar on Sundays.
Okay. Have you ever been to Houston?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So why do you know this? All right.
So then we ended up... Right. So then when we went to Houston, the first day, it was like, there's a bunch of Washington fans at Little Woodrows. We went to the wrong one, as they have 3 locations, because I was trying to meet up with my man Mike that owns Fuel.
Oh, right on.
So I've been to 2 of the Houston ones, but the one in Austin's dope. It's a great time.
Barbecue, I'm assuming?
So they just do food trucks, but the pro move I saw, Miles, when I was in there watching a Seahawks game, where there's a group of dudes that came in. You could bring in your own food, too.
Ooh.
And they had gone to Terry Black's, got a massive platter of barbecue, and then sat in here. Because it's like an outdoor space.
Okay.
Just making everyone jealous.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that move at Teddy's in Roosevelt before.
Oh, yeah, when people are watching sports?
Oh, come in with a big bag of 5 guys or something. You get a whiff of it. It's like being on an airplane beside someone eating something good. You're like, oh, man, why did I do that?
I got a free Dick's cheeseburger at the local watering hole the other day, Ted.
So somebody's brought in a bag?
He said, anytime I go, I always bring extra if I know I'm coming here. Would you like one? I said, man, actually, I've already eaten. I wish I'd known. So my wife says, look, just give it to him anyway. He's going to eat it. I'm like, good looking out. Totally forgot. The next morning, I get up to take my dog out for a walk, and I'm like, there's a cheeseburger in my pocket. Yeah.
Did you eat it?
No.
All right.
It had been sitting on the coat rack overnight, man. I totally forgot it was in there.
You should have microwaved that bad boy.
I thought about it, but again, man, I've been sitting in my pocket at room temperature overnight.
Well, experts would say it's not safe. I'll stand by. You should have microwaved that. In my fan club, we microwave old food.
Yes. What do we got? Another birthday shout out, guys. I'd like to give a huge birthday shout out to my coworker, manager, and friend Joe. Joey's been dedicated listener to the men's room since high school, 20 years, and even listened via the app while he did a couple-year stint in San Diego for work. Listen to you guys in the office daily. Appreciate you helping us get through the end of the day. So, can we give Joey a big old bong rip? A nasty fart, and the gang talking all over each other about why not to flush the vacuum canister down the toilet. Happy birthday, you stupid bitch. That from Clark.
I don't understand. It's very obvious why you wouldn't do that.
I think the entire canister, if you empty the crab in the only reason I would do that is because I vacuumed up cocaine and the cops are showing up. Otherwise, man, it's a dog hair and
dumped it in the toilet. Dumb and hell. All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. Let's get a contestant on the line for your guess is as good as mine now at 206-803-ROCK. Couple extra emails. What do we got here? Guys, back home, back soon, hopefully. Haven't heard a new podcast in a while, just making sure you guys still have a job or that Miles didn't get eated. Work sucks without you, and hope you all had a good break. That from Brad. Brad, we had a wonderful break. And I did not get eated, but I felt...
You did not get eaten, no.
Eat it. There was a couple times there where I was like, I might get eaten. This is crazy.
Did you see any snakes?
Yes, I did. Saw a few of them. The difference is the ones you don't want to see, which are the black mamba and the spitting cobra. The accuracy from 20 feet away to spit venom in either eye it chooses to spit it.
Seriously?
Yes.
Damn.
So we were hoping we would not see one of those. That was the one where I was like, spitting cobra, honey. Like, yeah, and they get up to about 4 or 5 feet before before they do their thing.
Jeez!
And I'm just like, man, oh man. I'm like, have you ever seen one? He's like, yes. I was like, how was that? He's like, not good.
Right.
Like anything else.
I mean, how was that?
Yeah, keep in mind the mosquito's the thing that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
How'd you do with the mosquitoes, by the way?
Oh, man, I took the malaria medication every day. That stuff is, I have never had more vivid, I just stopped taking it yesterday. You have to take it like 7 days after you get back.
Yeah.
I have never had the craziest dreams. You know, we've had people call and say they were on some kind of sleeping medication or whatever.
Yeah.
Just how vivid and weird everything was. That's basically what I went through every night. It was your brain is absolutely trying everything in its power to keep you from relaxing and having a decent night's sleep.
You couldn't smoke weed either, right?
Oh, Cape Town, I got stoned. Oh, yeah.
I would think, but generally they say weed kind of dulls your dreams.
That stuff, man.
So if you weren't smoking and you're taking malaria medicine.
Well, the guy told me. He's like, look, the only thing you need to know is this stuff will give you some pretty weird dreams. I'm like, yeah. Did not think about it again. Really just, the comment was like, all right, yeah, whatever. And then when I started taking it, I was like, man, I had a dream on the airplane. I was like, oh my God. We were going down. In my mind, the airplane was crashing. I mean, it was.
Oh, what a great dream to have
on an airplane. I'm just like, what in the hell is going on? Okay, I believe it's time to make a very special announcement here concerning the Men's Room Radio program being on the air for 20 years in Seattle, which is a milestone that we never thought we would hit.
No, honest to God, you got to be kidding me.
And as you know, in 2024, we teamed up with the fine folks at Black Raven Brewing and launched the Men's Room IPA, which sales have been unbelievable.
Yes,
the beer is fantastic. Thank you so many bars, restaurants for putting the beer on tap. All of the grocery stores that have had us in, all the small market stores. It has been wonderful. This year we launch a brand new beer. The Men's Room 20th Anniversary Lager is out now from Black Raven Brewing.
Nice.
In the silver shiny can. It is a delicious, drinkable beer celebrating 20 years of us being on the air in Seattle. You know the drill. The portion of net proceeds benefit our friends at the 3 local Fisher House locations. This, once again, is a delicious, drinkable beer that you will enjoy, and we could not be happier. This is a limited edition thing again. We do know for a fact that it is supposed to be out today in QFC in Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
So basically the Kroger family. In the area.
And then it'll start spreading.
Exactly. And, but if you're looking for it right now, that's where it's located.
It is a silver can with the same logo, but you'll look down at the bottom, and where there's the Raven's head, it is wearing a party cap. Mike, I'm reading the back of the can. Who wrote this? It says, Hola.
I think Mike did.
We're the Men's Room of 99.9 KISW FM, and for some reason, after 20 years on the air, they still haven't found a reason to fire us, okay? At least not yet. That's the next sentence. But until that happens, Jesus, we hope you'll crack a beer to help us celebrate 2 decades on the rock, which also benefits, like we say, our friends at the Fisher House down the Hola. Boy, that is.
I feel like that does kind of pique my memory just a little bit. I might have
I mean, he wrote it, but he sent it. We went back and forth.
Yeah, I just.
Hey, look,
Should be shocking to read that.
For a couple places that
I'm
I know,
kind of, you know.
that he didn't even have the holidays holiday porter we did for a limited release. They're asking for more of those kegs, and they just don't have it.
They don't have them.
Yeah, they only made a certain amount.
They sold them out, but people want to keep drinking that beer.
I've got nagged about that at 2 different bars that I go to, and like the bartenders are giving me grief, and I'm like, man, when I told you about this, I told they've got what they've got. When it's done, it is done. Well, you should talk to them. I'm like, I can do that. You're still not going to get a keg of beer.
And the men's room IPA is still doing incredibly well in the bright yellow can.
Yeah.
I did a little, man, I was on a plane for 24 hours, so I got up one morning and, like a moron, I did about a 10-mile walk around South Lake Union and just try to get some fresh air and stuff. Well, of course, I end up like, well, I've walked for 2 hours and 25 minutes or whatever it was. I'm passing the PI. I'm going to go in there, man.
Yes.
And why not? Get a fish sandwich and get a beer. Lo and behold, I walk in there. They've got men's room IPA on draft at the Pacific End.
Oh, nice.
So that's
Has
awesome.
it been there for a hot minute or?
I think they just had it for a couple days.
Oh, nice. All
By
right.
the time I got there. So if you're looking for some good fish and chips and you're in the Fremont area, stop in there. We will have updated lists of locations as they come in. Hopefully, if you have a bar, all you got to do is just put it on tap, send us an email. We'll give you a mention on the air and send as many people down there as we can.
Yeah, this is the worst announcement ever. All right, so we knew this announcement was coming up, and I got a text from my wife who says, hey, I know you guys are going to announce the beer, but they just played a promo for it. I said, all right. And then we got a text that says, already have the beer in my fridge. Was this supposed to be a week early at Fred Meyer?
we don't care.
I don't know. I'm glad you already have it.
I'm glad you found it.
I mean, that part's fine. At least people are buying it.
No, it's
It would be
great.
nice to let Miles say it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I don't care. As long as you buy it and help support our friends at the Fisher House and you enjoy the beer, you're not going to go wrong with Black Raven. We've been saying this the entire time.
You're really not.
Matter of fact, I'm going to crack this thing right now.
I already cracked mine.
And Miles, you're right. Me and my brother took his dog on like a 2.5 mile walk.
Just want a beer and
we go to the house. He's like, "You ready for a beer?" I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Man, is that
that's
good.
what everybody did after a long couple mile walk.
That is a great beer.
I actually got to sample some early. Ted and I both did. Cass was all excited.
I have some.
And he was like, look, man, just meet me at the bar, and I got something for you. So we all go to the bar. VD's there, and Cass has these 6-packs in his car. Went home and immediately just crushed a 6-pack.
Yeah.
I'm like, this
that is fantastic. Good stuff. And please, if you find the beer, just send us an email to themensroom at KISW.com. Again, we'll spread the word and try to find you a place where you live locally where you can pick it up and enjoy as well.
Another quick question from the text lines. This is for you, Mike. I think the answer is no, but it says, do you guys have clips from the first show 20 years ago?
You are correct, Steve.
Yeah, we don't. No. I remember the first question we asked, but I don't even know.
How far do our archives go back in theory?
As far as what I personally have, I've got archives that go back. I need to talk to VD because the one that I had, I should have.
So it's gone.
It's
gone.
Yeah.
Good times.
I mean, they could be somewhere out there. That's just such a long time ago, and then technology's come so far along.
Do you remember the first question we asked?
No. If you were going to go gay?
Nope. Wow. No, Ted. I don't know that we ever asked that, but
obviously memorable to you.
Well, wasn't it like...
would you rather be dumped by or for a little person?
All right.
We phrased it different.
We definitely asked a question about Yao Ming or...
Gary Coleman.
Yeah.
No, but it's not that you're going gay. It's about to happen to you. And based on stereotypes...
Yeah, you could be with two people, Yao Ming or Gary Coleman.
You got to guess which one you think is carrying more weight down there, right? Because there's stereotypes. Now, Yao Ming is 7 feet tall, but there's the stereotype.
He's a basketball player.
Wasn't there one
Gary Coleman's a teeny tiny little man. Rest in peace, whatever. But he's a black dude, so the stereotype is that he's got a massive hog. So they say, look, it's going to happen. Who are you picking? Your choice.
Mike, we interviewed angry Gary Coleman at one point in time when we were in Baltimore.
God, he was
no idea how. Was he bitter?
He was an angry man,
and he was doing political correspondence at the time, so we didn't really care one way or another. Like he was like talking about the governor's race in California, whatever. But
it was one of those things where like there's an election. He's doing this. You could call him. He'll give you 3 or 5 minutes on the election. Mm-hmm. Seems simple enough. Should be funny.
No, it was not.
No, he was,
angry little fella.
He was angry.
Wasn't there one question like, why do you not like white people?
Yeah.
We asked that.
We almost got taken off the air that day. It was very tongue-in-cheek.
It was tongue-in-cheek, but do you know who called to complain, right? Because people call them, they're like, yoga, huh? Right? Just typical stuff.
Backboard.
The NCAA. Jesus.
The NAACP.
NAACP They called to complain. Seriously, our boss came in and said, hey, man, the NAACP called. They're bitching about your question. I'm like, why do they hate white people?
Right.
They're like,
the answers were like racquetball.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
what's
Skiing.
It wasn't some big thing.
Cottage cheese.
Everyone understood the joke.
Except for them. Yeah, it was like obvious.
I'm like, of all the people.
Driving, at
NAACP.
the time, driving a Saturn. Those were all kinds of things. You know, there were clearly white people things.
Yeah.
But I don't think they got the, what's that, the Saturn?
Fair call. I just found out apparently my people, and I do it all the time. Fair call. Fair. It's just a response white people say.
Fair.
Yeah, fair.
Good time.
I do it constantly.
I think we've run out of time there on the little, your guess is as good as mine, but we'll do it again for you.
Sorry, Brock.
Yeah, we'll do it Monday.
Brock on there?
Oh, yeah,
Let's just bring him on for
Brock on, Brock
Hey,
off.
Brock, you can be all right that we can't get to it today.
Yeah, but you guys kind of screwed me because I was going to do a dry January, and now I got to go try your beer. So what's up with that?
We're the worst people to come to for a dry January.
Dry February, shorter month. But then you get screwed at the Super Bowl party.
Right.
So wherever you go to watch the Super Bowl, man, it's going to be a tough weekend.
I would also say it's a limited time release, but for people doing dry January, it ain't going to go bad on your shelf.
Yeah, Brock.
Yeah, Brock, have a little self-control.
There you go.
Load up that fridge, and on February 1st, just get pissed drunk, man.
Speaking of that, the shot of the day is coming up.
Whatever, Brock.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Dry January.
Hey, somebody made a good point. It's nice to know the NAACP listens to your show. You know what? That is a good point.
Well, it was Baltimore.
Yeah, well,
That's 80%. Everybody.
it was also the country station.
That's just
Do the
somebody
math.
listening.
Yeah. It's like an AARP card on an AM radio station. It's just a given. You know it's going to happen. Okay, coming up, we'll drink a toast with the shot of the day. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up at 5:08, we will drink and toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. The most congested city in Europe has just been announced. Any guesses on we're talking about traffic, and what they did is they found the average commuter's most time spent sitting in traffic over the course of the year. So the average commuters in this particular city spent 101 hours over a course of a year sitting in traffic.
Having been there, London.
100%, it is London.
Yeah, I mean, that's like going to Manhattan, dude. It's And they have a few main thoroughfares, but overwhelmingly in the city, it's all those curving roads from back in the day.
I was about to say, is it just
even
because
a shortcut doesn't help much?
Is it just because the cities were built at a time when the cars were not a thing, and so expansion wasn't exactly put into mind there, and so they just
the buildings are still there. They can't widen it.
Right.
It's still still the same bar that's been there since 1650.
Exactly.
Here, that's the issue with Boston. It's designed to meet at the center so your horses can drink water.
Exactly.
Right. And then you had to build the rest of the city kind of around that.
Right. What do you think about what we got going out here? Like, if we just got too much congestion, they do it all the time. Just put it in another freaking lane. But out in London, you can't do that.
I mean, you can put it in another lane. Seattle's biggest thing is you can't really do like a beltway because we're surrounded by water.
Right.
So you can go north, south, east, or west, and you're kind of done, right? So, and that's the route everyone's going to take.
Mm-hmm. And they can't widen I-5 downtown.
Right.
Like it goes to 2 lanes.
Exactly. And they just physically can't make it any bigger.
Yeah.
Right. There's a new oldest living person in the world, a, quote, soccer-loving nun who taught Brazil's last dictator at the young age of 117 years old.
Does she want that out there, or are people just sharing that info?
I know, right? Mm-hmm. Again, that's...
You lived 117 years, and that's the only thing they point out about you.
We cover it at least once a year of just, do you want to get that phone call like, hey, Thrill, congratulations?
So is she really a nun?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, in front of God, hanging out with soccer players.
Sure.
Live a long life. You trying to tell me celibacy is the answer?
Nuns can have fun.
I know that.
They're known for that.
They're known for that.
That's why they rhyme.
None. Rhymes with fun.
Yeah.
117, and they got the photo up there. She
a looker?
She looks 117, yeah.
Okay. Well, you look your age.
I think at that point, once you get that old, that's like a compliment.
You know what? That's true, right?
Hey, you know what? You made it.
And at 117, I don't expect anyone to tell me, man, you look good.
Right?
Your face should look like a good worn-in baseball mitt.
Yeah. Or like your thumb when it's underwater too long.
Oh, God.
But we expect it. We accept it.
Right. We understand it's going to happen. Right.
And because she's a nun, I bet you she's still scary.
Right. She still has the ruler.
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
You know what? I did it last week. I don't know why. Going to the airport. Obviously, everybody flies. But as we pull in, I go, oh, man, a nun. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you don't see them in the wild as much anymore. And he's like, yeah. And it was awkward.
Do you think that their security experience is different than ours?
No.
You don't think
it's got to be the same. I mean, is there like an...
Are you going to frisk a nun? Bro, we're working TSA. I'm not. I'm not doing it.
But there's not like a badge that says I'm an official nun.
I know
so
that.
bad people could show up and
just show up in a nun
gear.
I completely understand.
The only problem's the beard.
If we have to pull you, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing a nun with a neck beard. I'm just saying. But if you have to pull her aside, I would have to call someone else over. Like, dude, I can't do it. She's a nun.
Well, sure, you'd have to get a female officer.
And not even that.
But even if you find, it's a gram of coke.
Right.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it? Like, I'm a nun. What, are you going to arrest me?
I'm a nun.
I'm a nun.
How's this look for you?
You want that look?
This is my person.
You're going to walk a nun through the airport in cuffs?
I'm not selling this. This is for me.
You wouldn't walk a nun through the airport with cuffs. You found something on her. But you found something. She got contraband,
She's got
man.
a good reason to do it if she's a true nun, man.
Good reason for transporting cocaine.
What? Like Miles saying, she needs that.
Exactly. I'm a nun. Son, are you going to bust me?
Right. I'm not some sort of kingpin here.
Yeah.
The old TikTok challenge is back for the new year. 75 hard. Anybody know what the 75 hard challenge is?
Without taking Viagra at the age of 75.
It's got to be like, what, 75 days, no sugar, no booze.
So 75 days of a strict diet, no alcohol. But on top of that, you have to do 2 45-minute workouts, drink 3 liters of water, and read 10 pages of a nonfiction book.
So you need to do an hour and a half every day of working out?
Correct.
Okay.
2 45-minute workouts. Drink 3 liters of water and read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. Basically, it's supposed to just kind of jumpstart you putting stock into you is what it is. And they've talked to folks, and it's like, it can work, but honestly, find something that's a little bit easier for you to get into, because it's hard to do. It's difficult to do, and if you get discouraged, then you just implode.
Right. I'm going to come up with a different challenge, like the 12-pack challenge.
Oh.
Every day you drink a 12-pack. You go for a walk, see if you get into trouble.
See if you get into trouble.
Yeah. Don't try to, just see if you do. Right. You got 12 beers in there, you're going to make bad decisions. If you don't, congratulations.
Yeah, like I've only heard that from like some dude I follow on Instagram, but like his whole job basically is like working out, playing golf, and betting.
Oh, God.
So I think he had plenty of time to take 75 days off.
There you go. Yeah, no kidding. That's the other thing. Do you have time to do that? Because I have a hard enough time working out a 20-minute workout at some point during the week.
Is it because lack of time or lack of motivation?
Both.
Okay.
Mostly lack of motivation. I get done with the day, man. I'm tired. It's 7:30. I don't want to work out.
No, I get it.
Right?
I think if you're going to work out, I'd recommend doing it in the morning. Right. You already don't feel like being up, so you might as well do something you hate first and then feel better about yourself through the rest of the day.
While we're on the subject, it is the new year, and that means people are telling everybody what they don't care to know about, their New Year's resolutions. But which one is right for you? Well, we've got a few suggestions.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 or more fun and practical resolutions and goals to reach for in 2025. I've always wanted to volunteer in some capacity. Maybe at a pet shelter, or maybe scrubbing and sterilizing operating rooms. Do they let you volunteer to clean up violent crime scenes? The smell of dried blood and decomposing body tissues is surprisingly soothing.
Dear God. Missed you, VD. Okay, so these are some ideas for a New Year's resolution. They do break it up into a handful of different categories. So let's start on if you want to work on your self-control, as it were. That tends to be what a lot of people do. They want to drink less. They want to eat a little bit better. So as far as their recommendations here, you might want to try to stay out of debt. As far as your New Year's resolution, you got to stay out of debt.
If you can.
Right. Nobody really wants
luck,
to.
Scott.
That's a circumstantial thing.
Nobody wants to be. I've never heard anyone go, man, my goal is to increase my debt.
I mean, doesn't the credit card companies tell you to do that, though? Or rather, whoever runs your credit score.
Your credit card company absolutely wants you to go into debt and to make your minimum payment. Like, there's a business interest there, so it's not in your best interest, but I understand why they want you to.
This one should just be everybody's practice, not just as a New Year's resolution, but says stop spending money when I'm stressed. Don't stress buy stuff.
Ooh. I'm not a big stress spender.
There's a lot of people that are, man. When they're stressed out, they'll hit Amazon, they'll hit whatever it is that their store that they like to go to. They will fill up a cart and make themselves feel better by buying stuff.
I just hide under my neighbor's bed and masturbate.
I think one of
but it saves me money.
I'm stressed out. I'm sorry. Pay attention to what you get immediately taken out of your check every month.
Oh, yeah.
So whether that's Netflix or all these little subscriptions that you don't realize you have, Amazon, whatever you got, music, whatever the deal is, just look and go, do I use this? Because at the end of the year, if it's $10 a month, $10 a month, now you're on $120, but now you've got 6 of these or 7 of these or whatever the deal is. But it doesn't seem like you're spending money because it just comes out.
People want to stop.
I was going to say I have a lot of bad habits, but luckily stress spending is not one of them.
Yeah. We know somebody who has a drunk spending problem.
Yep. I know a few people like that.
What's this box?
What did I get now? Stop being a people pleaser.
I don't have that problem.
I don't give a damn.
The consensus is that is not an issue I have.
Oh, man. Get better at recovering from a bad night of sleep.
How do you get better? You had a bad night of sleep.
More?
How do you
about to say, it's got to be just managing your time so that you can actually get a good night's sleep or catch up on sleep that you've lost. You know, there's a lot of people that when they dive into, especially when they're getting into like workouts and stuff like that, they'll start waking up at crazy hours of the morning.
Sure.
When you're not ready to do that, it's going to leave you exhausted. Yes, you worked out and that's great, but you're going to be exhausted by 10 a.m.
Have you guys ever done the melatonin thing?
No.
When I was trying to get readjusted back from the 10-hour difference, whatever the deal is, my daughter's like, Dad, just take melatonin. And I was like, I'd never done that before. She's like, it's really good. You don't need to take a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
No. My kid will pop a melatonin. If he can't sleep, straight up, bedroom door opens, like grabbing a melatonin. Like, I want to go to sleep.
All right.
I actually tried to get a decent night's sleep probably the last 5 days in Rome. So I went to bed early, the whole night, wasn't drunk, none of that. I just tossed and turned in bed and fell asleep at about the same time I would have anyway.
Yeah.
And then that's more annoying.
New Year's resolutions ideas for getting your life organized. They say finally learn how to create a budget. Yeah, get on that.
Yeah.
Get
that
on
goes
that.
with the debt thing.
Save money for emergencies and big things that I want to buy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It depends how big it is, right? Because some things can be frustrating to save money for. Because, like, when you and your wife are saving for a house, this is a couple of years commitment, as opposed to, I want to get a PS5.
Right.
Right. And I mean, just it really affects how you feel. You can get excited about the PS5 because you can see yourself making gains toward it. But you're saving to buy a house or a brand new car it's like, man, you just don't feel like you're getting anywhere.
And crap is cheap these days.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's easy to spend just.
Right. I mean, you can go buy a new TV, this or that. And some
For
people
now.
just, yeah.
Do it now.
Getting your life organized, you might want to organize your home.
Yeah.
That's worth doing. I did a little bit of that over the break, which did make me feel better, and it is amazing how much just getting things organized makes you feel.
Take a trip to Goodwill.
Yeah,
Drop
I gotta
some
do
stuff.
that. I got
It's one of those things like, dude, if you haven't worn something in a couple of years, chances are, unless it's a suit or something that you just let someone else take
wear
the
it.
stuffed animals, kids. Because you're not playing with them.
Get it the hell out of the house.
You can't get rid of them. Yes, I can.
Yes, I can, and I will.
Make better to-do lists. Which, a to-do list is a to-do list, so how do you make that better?
One of the things you add to your to-do list is to make a better one.
You're right.
Basically, go to the grocery store, do this, make a better to-do
Yeah,
list.
I knocked off 2 or 3 things on that list. over the
Well,
break.
so did I, and I will say this. If you do want to get your life more organized, don't drink when you're doing your to-do list.
No.
Oh, you know, every goal you ever had in life on there.
You will knock one thing off that list, and you are good to go, baby. Yeah, I did it. Crack another.
You know what, though? But you do take honest satisfaction in that moment.
Yeah.
You're not being as productive as tomorrow version of you would have liked you have been, but you still get that same satisfaction. Like, boom, vacuum the house.
One less thing.
Drinking another beer.
Have a freezer full of meal prep dinners. That's one that I really want to get on a little bit more is, cutting up ingredients for what we're going to be cooking later on, freezing stuff that we can just toss into a pan for later on, getting on top of that. I do like cooking, but like I said, I get home somewhere around 7:30 at night.
I get
Cooking
it.
takes
I'll
me
tell
to
you what.
8:30.
Yeah. The thing that's helped us as far as meal planning and all that kind of thing, and we're not great at it, but certainly have gotten better at it, is we don't have a microwave. Right, so like whatever you're going to eat, you need to prepare it, you need to make it, you need to cook it, and it's just understood that this is going to be a 20 to 60 minute process, right, beginning to end, but it ends up helping you kind of organize your fridge.
Right. Some New Year's resolutions ideas when it comes to challenging yourself. They say improve the quality of your sleep. Challenge yourself
Back to sleep again.
Exactly.
I think a lot of that also has to do with like taking the phone out of the bedroom.
Yes.
Right. Or how late you have like input going in.
And it could be certain practices to, help relax the mind a little bit. Sometimes just working out can help improve your quality of sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Meditating, stretching, whatever it is. Sleeping.
Kick around the house by 10.
Drinking water. Stop drinking by 5.
Yeah. Eat a banana.
There you go. Find an exercise routine that you'll actually stick with. And I will recommend anybody, I know there's a lot of people that want to start dieting and exercising this time of year. That's fantastic. Start small. Start with 10, 15 minutes maximum. Once or twice a week.
Agreed.
Just start slow, work yourself up. Because if you try to go full bore all the way in, dude, you're going to burn out within 3 days. Give yourself time to adjust. And then boosting my memory skills. That's one that I like to try to do, but then I keep forgetting to do it.
Yuck.
Things to exercise the brain a little bit. One thing that my wife and I have been doing, we'll do the New York Times has an app that has all their games. They have the crossword on there. They have Wordle. They have connections and stuff like that. There's little brain games that you can play there, which kind of does help the cognitive a little bit more, and I'm reading a little bit more. Some more New Year's resolution ideas to try something fun. They say bring more novelty into my everyday life.
All right.
Okay.
What counts as novelty?
You don't need it, but it brings you joy.
Okay.
Right?
Walk
So if
through
you're-
the puddle.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Walk through
It's
the
not
Just do something
necessary,
different.
but it makes you happy.
Yeah.
Now my socks are wet.
I was
What's
gonna say,
right
or
there
maybe, I don't know, just a different kind of day trip or, I don't know, go somewhere you talked about.
I think it's a good example. You at the watering hole, like you played bingo.
There you go.
And then you truly enjoy. So, like, you're still going to a place that you want to be at, but now you also have a definitive reason for being there beyond just drink.
Also, just stuff like I get something different off the menu or buy something different at the grocery store.
That's actually fun. It sounds stupid, but it's fun.
And 90% of the time, I'm like, I got the wrong thing.
Yes.
But I still tried it.
And then what you actually want becomes the treat.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this time I'm actually going to get what I want.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that chicken parm again. Host more dinner parties.
I went through this in Baltimore. I got a chicken parm. Should have got the chicken cheesesteak.
And on some level, you knew, right?
I wanted the chicken parm, but Mike's right. It stuck with me.
But then this is the number one New Year's resolution idea that they say for trying something fun. Boy, you better know what you want. Get my first tattoo. God, my wife is trying so hard to talk me into it, man.
Dude, I mean, look.
I'm close.
Everyone thinks that they know exactly what they want for the first tattoo, and you do. You may or may not regret it a couple years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you got a tattoo, but the design that you got, right? But, like, in the moment you do it, unless you're hammered, you're getting exactly what you want. What I would say is make sure you go to a reputable artist. That way, even if you end up not loving what you picked, the work itself is still phenomenal, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, and there's just so much pressure with tattoos, especially your first
Where
one.
does your wife want you to get a tattoo?
It's on my record.
Yeah, but I mean, also, you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
I feel like if you finally got one, it'd be something you wanted.
Yeah.
You have enough life
I know some
experience,
people, some kids that are like 18, 19, ran out and got
Running
stuff.
around out there, yep.
Right, now they're getting them, to their credit, they're getting them paid to get them lasered off. But it's just like, yeah.
Right.
I just keep them all. It's like it's a reminder of something, right?
Right. It's
because most of them that I've gotten,
it's a timestamp on
reason,
a part of your life.
Absolutely.
You know. What do you?
That's where it was.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Where
was it?
No.
Let me rephrase everything
Come
I just said. The location of your first tattoo will go a long way. You're right.
You're right.
That is,
if it's on your
Is this Post Malone? What the hell's going on?
That's what happened. Everybody
wasn't really Post Malone.
Well, no, there was a lot. That generation, there's a lot of rappers that all have face tattoos, neck tattoos, and like, I feel like a lot of people just ran out and got face and neck tattoos where it's like, this is permanent.
But you got to remember, in Post Malone, when I asked him about it, he said, dude, I got these before I got famous, and I got them because I'm ugly.
Right.
Those were his words. He's like, I did not have anything to lose. Girls weren't clamoring up to me, so the only way to even kick off a conversation with a chick was to get, because they'd come up and ask, and then his personality would carry through. But he's like, they were not walking up to me. I had literally nothing to lose.
Ted, you got to get surgery, right? You're talking to the operating doctor. All right. He's got a neck tattoo and 3 or 4 on his face. What are you thinking?
Might not be anesthetic.
That he's good at cutting people?
Yeah, exactly. This lawyer's trying to keep you out of jail.
Lawyer's a different story.
I would say he has experience.
I do too.
An airline passenger in Arizona nearly missed his flight due to his rideshare driver, but the reason why is a little ridiculous, Miles.
What was that reason?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. All right, we made it to drinking time.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes, plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/Confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
The details behind the Diddy indictment. Taylor Swift's stalkers. Jerry Lee trying to kill Elvis. Disgraceland dives into the dark side of entertainment every Tuesday. Follow and listen to Disgraceland on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Escape to paradise with a relaxing 6-night stay in the iconic islands of Tahiti and Moorea. Enjoy an all-inclusive nonstop flight to Tahiti from Seattle or Los Angeles on Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. From the vibrant cabins to the warm and welcoming crew, you will be transported to Tahiti from the moment you step on board. This dream getaway also includes beautiful accommodations, excursions, daily breakfast, all transfers, and more, starting at just $26.95 per person. Call 1-877-468-2448 to book yours today.
Lovers wants to know, ever forget Valentine's Day in the past? Need to make up for it? Do it and them right this time with the perfect pleasure present from Lovers stores. Whether you're looking for spicy toys, alluring lingerie, or exciting accessories, Lovers has it all. Save 20% when you mention unforgettable at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until February 28th. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell right, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk. And Steve the Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. First, a quick shout out, anyway, to everyone that's been listening to this program, including those of you that have been with us for 20 years. It has been 20 good years, and it is a very fun job. So thank you guys for that. But today, we toast 19-year-old, see, she couldn't even listen to us the whole time, 19-year-old Javeria Wasim of London, England. Now, last month, Javeria and a friend, they bought gum-filled candies while they were shopping. Now, she admits that she became impatient to reach the gum bowl at the center, so she bit down hard on the candy. And in addition to chipping her front tooth, her jaw started throbbing. In fact, it hurt bad enough that she went to the hospital. Well, after an x-ray, it was confirmed that she had a broken jaw in 2 places. She had to have surgery, and her jaw will be wired shut for the next 6 months, during which time she can only consume liquids. And obviously, she's devastated, but we're toasting her because the candy in question was a jawbreaker. It's right there in the name. Apparently, she got the 3-inch jawbreaker. The big one. The big one. And she says, look, man, I've had them before, but as a kid, you had fun waiting your time. But she said, I got impatient, bit down, and the jawbreaker apparently lives up to its name, kids. It will break your jaw. Take your time. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Steve the Thrill Hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I hope so, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. All right, Justin, you understand how this here game is played?
I sure do, Thrill.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of 3 categories today. Today we offer you Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. We have License to Spill, where you guess the substance that made the mess. And finally today for you, we have Seriously, where you guess the petty conflict that led to extreme violence.
Let's see what AI Miles wants to do.
You know what? Animalize this.
Sticking with the animal.
That's right. Got a theme going.
All right, here is your story. We go to Rhode Island, where the Rhode Island Department of Transportation workers cleaning out a catch basin made a startling discovery. 2 trapped animals treading water in a rapidly filling drain. Well, the Westerly Animal Shelter said on local social media that Rhode Island DOT crews, they were checking on catch basins. They discovered 2 critters stranded in one of the drains as it was filling with rainwater. Quote, the animals were swimming to stay alive. They fell in and they couldn't get out. Now, the animal shelter shared a video of animal control officers fishing them out of their predicament, and the post said the officers were, quote, happy to help these critters go back home. Sweet story. The question is, where were the 2 animals that were stuck in the drain? Was it 2 kittens? Was it 2 ducks? Was it 2 raccoons? Or was it 2 bunnies? So kittens, ducks, raccoons, or bunnies, what were treading water in a rapidly filling catch basin?
I got to go with trash pandas. What about you guys?
Well, the ducks in my mind are going to drown, but maybe they could.
Well, in the basin they would, because there's the top.
You know what? I'm going to go, and they seem to fall into drains a lot. You know what? Actually, I'm going to go ducks.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. If I saw 2 ducks in water, I wouldn't sweat it.
No, but the point is that they lifted the lid on the catch basin.
Right.
And they're treading. If you put the lid back on, they're gone.
I'm still going with kittens.
Kittens. Is everyone will rescue a kitten?
Justin, you sticking with raccoons?
You know what? Yeah, we're going to go with raccoons.
Okay. What did they rescue there? Were they 2 kittens, 2 ducks, 2 raccoons, or 2 bunnies? We will find out next.
That was a tease.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories analyzed. That's our profile. This we got Rhode Island workers that found 2 animals were stranded in a drain, probably going to drown if they weren't saved by these workers. But the drain was filling with water. They saved the animals. Was it 2 kittens, 2 ducks, 2 raccoons, or 2 bunnies? That's the question.
And Justin, that is a question that we posed to you. Let us start with Miles Montgomery. You went with the old ducks.
I did.
It was not ducks. Ted, you went with kittens because they're cute. Now, I don't care who you are.
People love them.
They do, unless you're blind or something. But if you see them, you're like, then they turn into cats and you hate them. And Justin, you immediately went with the, quote, trash panda, a.k.a. the raccoon.
Hell yeah.
That's correct.
Why did you guess raccoons, man?
I honestly just really like trash pandas, and I had a beer up in Canada not too long ago that was Trash Panda IPA, and it was freaking awesome.
Okay.
I didn't realize people liked them. I thought everybody was annoyed with raccoons.
People get annoyed. They don't bother me, man. You know, they're so, like you said, in the hood, man, there's 1,000 of them. They don't go through my trash. All right. Maybe that helps. They just kind of, I call it the Silk Road. Every form of wildlife goes down my driveway. There's this break in my neighbor's fence, and they all go through there. But these raccoons, man, every night at 12:30, go out and smoke a cigarette. Same 2. Big fat one, little skinny one. And they quietly creep along, just going down the Silk Road. Like, they don't bug me.
Yes, my buddy lives right around the corner from you, and he's like, they're destroying the trash. They're digging up his garden.
I don't have any of that.
Well, apparently they're cool at your house. They're going over to trash his place.
Maybe it's the dog, because my dog will pee in the yard, mark her turf. Then they might smell it and be like, look, whatever this animal is, it's bigger than us. Don't F with it.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right. Your choices today. We got some left over from Christmas. You're going to have some weekend updates.
Okay. Right.
Seth Meyers. The Jimmies.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Colbert.
Steven.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right there. The title. These guys have teams of talents and writers have to come up with the monologues each and every night, and it's up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Disney announced in 2027 it'll release a full-length Bluey movie. It's exciting. It's where Bluey and her family unfortunately meet Cruella de Vil.
SNL. Ted Smith.
Who's SNL?
Disney announced that in 2027 it will release a full-length Bluey movie. Yeah, it's exciting. It's where Bluey and her family unfortunately meet Cruella DeVille.
They asked some teachers what they would like to get as gifts from their students. Number one, handwritten letters from students. Cash or gift cards, classroom supplies. The top gift your kid should give them is booze. But if your students are buying you booze for Christmas, I feel like that says more as you as a teacher.
Colbert, SNL.
Smith, damn it.
That's a good one, man.
Hey, you must smell like booze.
If a kid thinks like, oh, I know.
Mr. Smith would love whiskey. Every day at lunch, he drinks some. Get out of the classroom, kid. A pizza shop in Tennessee has created a controversy after it declined to cater a gay wedding. Okay, but what if they called it a meat lover's wedding?
SNL? Yeah, SNL.
That's SNL.
A pizza shop in Tennessee has created controversy after it declined to cater a gay wedding. Okay, but what if they called it a meat lover's wedding?
A United Airlines pilot went into the cabin to hug a passenger who had donated bone marrow to him, while a pilot on Spirit stole a sleeping passenger's kidney.
SNL again, maybe? Myers.
SNL.
A United Airlines pilot went into the captain to hug a passenger who had donated bone marrow to him, while a pilot on Spirit stole a sleeping passenger's kidney.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Last night was the Golden Globes. Did anybody in here watch some of the Golden Globes?
I didn't.
I saw the first 30 minutes, and then I went into the basement and watched the football game. Turns out the Golden Globes, probably better.
Correct. I was kind of clicking around. That weekend between Christmas and New Year's, a lot of stuff goes on sports-wise, right?
My God, yeah.
So also, congratulations to the United States men's hockey team, the junior team. They won the World Juniors last night. So I was kind of watching that. I was watching a little bit of Sunday Night Football, but I watched a little bit of the Golden Globes. Yeah. It's pretty good.
I watched Nikki Glaser come out. I want to see what she would do. I thought she did a great job.
Rocked it,
as far as their egos were a little more fragile, and it's network TV, but I thought she did a bang-up job.
All right, actually, we have some more what they're calling her edgier kind of jokes of the night, but they were all pretty good.
You know, I'm in a room full of producers at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, and this time, all of my clothes are on. So, yeah, it was worth it. Wicked, queer, night bitch. These are not just words Ben Affleck yells after he orgasms. These are some of the incredible movies nominated tonight. And Challengers Girl, oh my God, it was so good. I mean, that movie was more sexually charged than Diddy's credit card. I mean, seriously. Oh, no, I know, I'm sorry. I'm upset too. The after party's not going to be as good this year, but we have to move on. Nicole Kidman is here. Oh my gosh. Nominated for Baby Girl. It was so good. I love that movie. I give it 2 fingers up. It's so good.
Yeah, and then the joke's not in there, but she's talking about Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And she is dating
Benny Berto.
Is it Blanco? The record producer.
I know you're talking. I know what he looks like.
But he's just kind of an average-looking dude.
I think you're being nice.
Right, so she makes a joke, and it's like, great to see her, and then Benny. And it's like, luckily you rubbed that genie and got your one wish. I'm like, well, damn.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that one. That one was hard.
Yeah. And then I saw people were getting on. It's like, have you seen his disgusting habit on display?
Oh, come on.
What is his disgusting habit?
He was chewing gum and his mouth wasn't closed.
I mean, come on.
And I got sucked into it. I clicked on the clickbait article. I was like, what was he doing? Biting his nails? Was he like
clipping his toenails on the table?
Like something weird, right? It's like, no, you're on him because he was all right.
Stop. You can't win. Stop.
Did you hear how she brought Adrian Brody in?
No.
Described him as 2-time Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
Oh, because he's been in all those movies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she went for the throat for a couple of these.
And what did she say to Timothée Chalamet? She's like, you have the most beautiful eyelashes on your upper lip. Because he's got a wispy-ass mustache.
Hey, Chalamet gets a pass in my book now. Ball knower. Everybody, he was on game day. He crushed it.
Oh, yeah, he did.
What did she say about his Bob Dylan thing? She said, apparently his singing in his movie, what is it called? No, whatever it is. The movie, the Bob Dylan biopic, he plays Bob Dylan. And she said, apparently, your singing was so accurate that even Bob Dylan admitted that it was horrible.
I think one of the better awkward moments of the night is everybody knows Fast and Furious, that franchise.
Yeah.
Now, Vin Diesel's been there. Then The Rock came along. There's been stories for years that they don't get along and this and that.
Oh, they kind of openly said, years back, they didn't quite say we don't like each other, but they made it clear we're not fans of one another.
So Vin Diesel's going to come out to give out an award. Now, you know Dwayne The Rock Johnson's in the front row. And Mike and I, you guys listen to it. All right, play it real quick.
Hey, Dwayne.
Man, when he came out,
I can't tell if they're cool now or if they're just like, he's just like, hey, Dwayne.
that felt like a power play, man. Like,
All right.
This is just my opinion of it, but when he came out, I remember because The Rock had been out there earlier to present another award. He was out there with his Moana co-star, and I remember that he was sitting right there in the front row. They flashed him a couple times, and when Vin Diesel came out, one, he's a little bit thicker than he normally is, but two, I was like, I wonder if, how he feels staring down at Dwayne Johnson down there, and for him to just power play, hey, Dwayne. He just kind of looked down his nose at him as he did it. So they could be cool, and maybe they're just playing into it.
Power play.
But did they agree to do another Fast and Furious movie together?
Oh, sure, they're gonna rake in. They're gonna rake in the bills, man. Like,
there's a lot of things I agree to with that payday.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just awkward. Yeah. And I mean, Vin never really says, like, The Rock just kind of like, hey, man. But yeah, Vin Diesel just kind of like lets it go for a while, then he's like, all right, now we're gonna introduce the next thing. Like,
right.
Okay. Demi Moore finally won an acting award.
I didn't realize that she had never won one, but then when I went through my quick mental Rolodex, which is not very deep, of Demi Moore movies, when would she have been
Maybe G.I. Jane?
My wife said, I guess she got nominated for G.I. Jane. I don't know if that's true, but I was like, look, man, there's nothing against Demi Moore. Her movies are fine, but it's like The Rock. Like, you're not going to win one of these. We understand this. It's not a dig at you, so I'm glad she won something.
Yeah. St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah. Ghost. Wasn't she in Ghost? Yeah, she was in Ghost. Yeah.
All right, so we were talking about it. A lot of good sports on in between the break. If you like English soccer, they call it the festive fixtures because the league, the Premier League, plays 3 games in between Boxing Day and New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. You had NFL, and we had the first ever college football playoff.
Yeah, baby.
Number 1, I get the first round was mostly blowouts. I've heard a lot of people. I spent time on the East Coast with my own family. You can hear it in my voice. Had this discussion a lot. A lot, Miles. Everybody in my goddamn family knows how to fix the system. First of all, you could tweak it a little bit, but also those were home games on home stadiums. And for everybody going, SEC. Well, Tennessee caught an absolute ass whooping up at Ohio State, right? So I think playing home games is a lot different. Generally, I'm not a Notre Dame fan. Watching College Game Day on that Friday night, and they're walking through that tunnel of people, and Freeman's up there leading them. I was like, God damn, this makes you want to go to Notre Dame. So that was pretty cool. Also, shout out to my guy Shane Gillis for making fun of Coach Saban to his face on there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see?
No.
You were in Africa.
No, what did he do?
So Game Day said, hey, there's one playoff game Friday night in South Bend. We're going to show up, do a game day there. The next day, we're going to do game day from Ohio State. So Shane Gillis, who I think went to Notre Dame for like a year or something, he's the guest picker. Now, earlier in the show, they were talking to him, and he's like, well, Notre Dame has a better shot now because SEC, like everybody can pay the players, right? So now you're on the desk. He's sitting next to McAfee, and McAfee goes, anything you want to say to Coach Saban? You kind of called him a cheater earlier. Now, you got to keep in mind, it is cold. It is South Bend in December. So Nick Saban has on a hat that you would just say looks close to like Indiana Jones.
Okay.
He's got on gloves, this and that. So Gillis kind of goes, no. Nobody would ever suggest the SEC ever cheated. Like, no, that's not what I was saying. Now, you can tell Saban is getting physically upset and angry.
Oh, of course.
So he starts to say something, and Gillis just kind of goes, well, I thought we were having fun here. And they're like, yeah, it's fun. He goes, well, Alabama Jones over there looks pretty mad.
Alabama Jones.
Alabama Jones. And he's like, where's your whip, Indy? It was awesome. And I don't mind Nick Saban, but It was just seeing him get cooked to his face. Like, we all knew it. We all knew what was going on.
We know, yeah.
So you got through that round. I still think you got to reseed it a little bit. I am not an Oregon fan. It was nice to see them get their butt whipped, but it is hard to be number one all year. That somehow you got to play Ohio State in the second round. Shout out to Arizona State. That game
was a great game.
Awesome. Unreal game. That was
2 overtimes.
Yeah. And everybody thought Ohio State, Oregon was going to be the game of the weekend, the Rose Bowl. Yeah, right. I saw you the night before. We're like, that game can't miss. Turns out it can miss. It missed bad. Yeah. Then obviously they had some bad, the tragic thing that happened down in New Orleans, so you had to bump that game. But overall, I think it looked good. You have the semifinals coming up this weekend, Thursday night and Friday night. So everybody can watch that.
And I'll break this down for people real quick. Even if you don't like the college playoff, what they care is that you watched it.
Correct.
You can bitch about that. You'll bitch about it again next year and then go, cool. But you watched it, right? And they go, all right.
Yeah. I was still upside down from flying that far, 24 hours in a plane, so I still wasn't adjusted. And like the Ravens game's on. I'm like, you're kidding me. That's all.
Christmas night or?
Yeah. I'm like, well, hell yeah, man. We got Netflix, so I'm going to watch it. What time's kickoff? Guy's like, 11:35 tonight. And I'm like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I'm going to miss the opening kickoff. I'm going to fall asleep. It's the weirdest thing ever. I got through like half the first quarter.
Honestly, the NFL games on Christmas Day kind of sucked.
They did.
I ended up watching the NBA games, and I still look, NFL, I get it. They can do whatever they want. But, if it's not a Sunday or a Monday, and I'm old man in it, but the NBA gets Christmas Day. I thought we all kind of agreed on that. And then the NFL just screw you. We're going to put games on. But the games weren't that good.
Well, also, as a Ravens fan,
yeah, I'm sure you guys loved it.
Loved it.
I would also mention, it's that time of year. Took down the Christmas tree. No more Scott Hansen.
Bye, Scott.
Red Zone's done.
Yeah.
No, we got playoffs coming up.
No Monday Night Football anymore. No
Monday. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to go home and
be productive.
Watch the Kraken.
Yeah, well, they're on fire.
Yeah.
But I will say, as the Seahawks fan, I'm wearing my Seahawks stuff today. 10 wins.
Let's go.
Obviously, you look at that Giants loss at home months ago, hurts. Couple other games, but solid season. I like Coach McDonald. I think that's good. I love Ryan Grubb. Unfortunately, there were some issues with that offense, I think, so he got let go today. He'll be fine. I think that guy's going to end up being a offense coordinator in the NFL again. I just don't know if he was ready yet. And it's the last 2 years he had Michael Penix tossing that ball around for him.
Yeah.
Every offense is going to look 10 times better when you have the likes of Michael Penix. But either way, it was awesome to see, and I still watch it. Just one more time. Go Hawks.
Let's go.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
What is Dax, are you?
Tracking all our cars on Carvana Value Tracker on all our devices? Yes, Kristen, yes, I am.
Well, I've been looking for my phone for...
In Dax's domain, we see all. So we always know what our cars are worth.
All of them?
All of them. Value surge, trucks up 3.9%.
That's a great offer.
I know. Sell?
Sell.
Track your car's value with Carvana Value Tracker today.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's Atlassian.com/CONFLUENCE.
Sing to the men's room.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines.
Here's my car.
All right, and tonight's headlines are brought to you by the fine folks at Sports on What? We start with our top story. We go to Arizona, where they're taking ride-sharing into the future. If you spend any time driving around the local roads, you may have witnessed their rideshare company, Waymo, a company much like Uber or Lyft, except the cars are completely autonomous, meaning there's nobody behind the wheel. They just drive themselves. I've actually seen those things, but last couple trips to Phoenix that I've taken, you'll see them drive down the road. I always think that they're kind of doing the Google Maps thing, the street view.
Yeah.
No, those are the cameras that they use to make sure that they're making the right turns, that they're not running into anybody and stuff like that, right? They function decently well, but an airline passenger nearly missed his flight thanks to his ride. As the Waymo made its way into the airport, it malfunctioned going through a roundabout and just continued to go around and around and around the roundabout. He circled for several minutes before it righted itself and made its way to the terminal, and he took a video of the incident and uploaded it to TikTok, where it has since gone viral. He was refunded his fare for the incident.
Jesus.
I'm with you. I think it would be a cool novelty to ride in a car that was autonomous. I would not trust it the entire way.
No. That's just me, but no.
And there's a couple pitfalls with it. I've seen another video where there was whether it was construction or there was an accident and there was a cop trying to wave him through.
Oh, right.
But there's nobody behind the wheel, so it's like the car's just sitting there because it sees traffic. It's not going to go out and around. So he's like, I can't do anything. I don't know what to do. I don't know how they fixed it, but that was the problem that they had.
To be fair, I bet you if you did a side-by-side analysis, still more human collisions based on all the human drivers. And like I said, you do the stats so it matches up.
Right.
That thing probably does better.
I think so, too.
That's a like, I still would not want to get in one.
Correct.
I don't take comfort in that, but I bet you statistically they do better than human
I'm
drivers.
exactly where you're at. Statistically speaking, I'm sure it is safer. I'm not fully comfortable with it. However, if we did that and we did go to the future with that, a lot less accidents.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're at the bar or something like that. Just let it drive you home.
That would be great.
Great.
You're going the wrong way.
Hey man, no, take 45th. Another news up to Canada, where no good deed goes unpunished. A driver on Vancouver Island was commuting on the night of New Year's Eve when he noticed a driver that appeared impaired driving down the road and had made the proper decision and pulled over. Not wanting him to go any further, our do-gooder moved his car in to block off the impaired driver and immediately confronted him to make sure that they were okay. During the citizen stop, an actual officer arrived on the scene and noticed that our good Samaritan was exhibiting some signs of alcohol consumption of his own. A field sobriety test was administered, and what you know, he failed, leading to his license being suspended and his car impounded because they don't F around with that up in Canada. What's more, the driver that he blocked had no alcohol in his system whatsoever. He was just nervous about driving in the dark.
Oh, damn.
I'm just scared.
Hey, man, I'm just letting you know it's a bad idea to drive when you're drunk around here, okay? You're going to get your license suspended. You're going to endanger everybody out of your head.
Yeah, right. You're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, come on, man. Lock it up. To Japan, where a mystery is being investigated. Police were called to a local bar at 1 a.m. on reports of an assault. The motive is not clear, but at some point in the night, two patrons were having a conversation that clearly took a negative turn and inspired one of the two to arm himself with a bottle from the bar and attempt to smash it over the head of his acquaintance. The assailant was arrested as the victim was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. And again, they tried to figure out what caused the man to attack the other, but through his muddled response, they couldn't quite get a coherent answer.
So alcohol.
Pretty much.
That's
whatever it was. This guy had to have just blacked out to the point to where he doesn't know why, but he just felt the need to beat him over the head with a bottle.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I mean, why not? We're in a bar. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. That's what we do.
I have a bottle. You have a head.
I feel like that becomes a thing at like campfires because it's in all these movies where you just smash a bottle over someone's head. That's very hard to do and dangerous to do.
Yeah.
There's a reason why in the movie the guy passes out when they do it, because it takes a lot of force to do it.
It's always like, there's a fight scene in a movie.
Yeah.
You pick a guy up and you slam him on the coffee table. And the coffee table breaks in half.
Right.
I'm just thinking, man, in real life, you're going to the hospital.
Right.
You're not getting up angry. He just put you through a solid wood coffee table.
Well, and also the same thing. He'll smash on the coffee table, but the table, that thing's not empty. It's full of glasses and bottles and whatnot, and they all just shatter at the force of a body landing on it because they're made of sugar. Reality, you land on that thing, that's just...
Yeah.
That's terrible.
You're done.
Yeah. Fight's over. It is done. But just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth,
thankfully, there's good news.
We go to Massachusetts, where a local police officer went above and beyond the call of duty. He was walking around a local neighborhood at about 5 a.m. when he heard someone call in about a house fire in the area and made his way to the scene. When he made it to the fire, he was informed by a neighbor that the residents of the home, about 3 of them, were still inside. Putting his own safety aside, the officer charged into the home, waking the sleeping residents, and got them out of the building before suffering any injuries or any harm whatsoever.
Solid.
Firefighters were able to get to the scene and put out the fire in short order. That man absolutely saved lives.
That's why I would not be a police officer.
I ain't running.
Still 3 people inside. Oh my God, it's gonna be
Waiting for
horrible.
fire to get here.
I'm about to say, they should be here in like 2 minutes.
The family's gonna be so upset.
You're calling them up like, get here faster. There's people inside.
Yeah, like I'm calling it in, dude.
Yeah.
I'm working it. God got it. I'm working it. Men's Room Sports, the Seahawks season has officially come to an end on a high note after beating the Rams in L.A. yesterday afternoon, marking the end of Mike Macdonald's first season as head coach and the first coach in franchise history to finish with an astounding 10 wins in his first season.
Nice.
No coach in Seahawks history has finished with that many wins. There was a lot of people that counted him out. There was a lot of people that said that we weren't going to make it. We weren't going to make a 500 score. They blew that out of the water. 10 wins. That's a great opening season. Well done, man.
It is, man.
While they did tie for first in the division, they did unfortunately get knocked out of the playoffs due to tie-breaking factors, and it was announced, like Ted said earlier today, that they did elect to part ways with offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb after just 1 year at the helm. Just a couple too many holes in that offense for him. We'll have more on that later.
I'd say I really like Grubb. He did a great job Washington. I do think he'll be an offense coordinator in the NFL. I just don't know if it was his time yet. In my opinion.
Well, remember, Pete Carroll was an NFL coach. He was in New England.
Right.
Quote unquote, failed miserably.
He was
Went back
also
to
with the
the
Jets,
college
if I'm not
ranks.
mistaken.
Right. And look what he did.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. As far as what you're going to watch tonight, you got basketball on NBA Network. The Trailblazers are over on CW. College hoops on ESPN2, U and FS1. College football on ESPN and your Seattle Kraken look to break a losing streak tonight as they host the New Jersey Devils here at home. That'll be on Kong. Puck drops at 7 p.m. As far as your weather, got a little bit of cloud cover coming in, but it should be a relatively dry night. Things are cooling down overnight degrees with mid-30s tomorrow morning for a mostly cloudy mid-40s Tuesday. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Top movie soundtracks of all time. Tomorrow, as we will sit and spin, the lovely Jolene is up next.
Yes, indeed, it's all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Look, we're all human. We push-pull doors, we blow on ice cream to cool it down, and sometimes we forget to check our blind spots. That's why the 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid offers class-leading advanced safety features. Like an available blind spot view monitor, which shows you a live video feed of your blind spots. Because the Tucson Hybrid is made for humans who are just that, human. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for details.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes, plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.